Hey everybody, it's Jason. We are back after a several-week hiatus, a charity necessitated hiatus. Thank you to anybody who listens to the show and who came out to the Million McFly March because of it. I mean, thank you for coming out anyway. But we raised a few $1,000s for Parkinson's research. We had a huge celebration. People came dressed up. We expected about 100, 150. We got about 1,000 people to come out, and it was a ton of fun. So thank you guys. We may do another one, don't know, but thank you guys very much for supporting. Before we get into this episode with Billy West, which is easily one of my favorite of all time, I just wanted to quickly let everybody know that I have a book coming out. It is my second book. It's called Postmodem, The Interwebs Explained. It's a satirical history of the internet, written in character, as though I don't know anything about the internet, and that I'm taking a lot of urban legend as truth. It was a lot of fun to write. It's taken 4 or 5 years to work on, but you will recognize several of the people that I interviewed throughout the book, including James Urbaniak and Jordan Morris, both who have been on this show. Go to postmodembook.com. You can actually pre-order it right now. Yeah, let me know what you think. And again, it comes out on the 17th, and I'm posting, throughout the next couple weeks from the book's blog, just to give you some samples of what's going on and the people who have enjoyed it. I've gotten some very nice blurbs from 3 people who have been on the show before: Jackie Cation, Rob Kuttner, and Patrick Verone. And with that, speaking of Patrick Verone and Futurama, our guest is Billy West. This is one of the greatest times I have had on this show, period. He's a hero of mine. He's one of my greatest heroes. Definitely my biggest voiceover hero. And he was just cool. That's the only way you can describe it. He was cool. And as you can probably notice from the time on this, we took our sweet time. It was a lot of fun. So it's myself, Billy West, and Jeremy Guskin, frequent friend of the show. So enjoy this episode. Let us know what you think. Give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. We could use a few more of those. And enjoy this episode. Thanks. I'm Jason Klamm, and this is the Comedy on Vinyl podcast. Hi, everybody. The album is Another Day, Another World. The year is 1961. The artist is Jonathan Winters, and my guest is Billy West.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So why did you pick this album? Let's get into it.
Well, there was really nothing to listen to except Peter Pan records, Disney, those little yellow vinyl kids records.
Yeah. Like the kind that would come with a book sometimes.
Yes.
Okay.
And, that wasn't a whole lot, like, it wasn't interesting to me. The only things that were at the very time was when the Three Stooges made a kids record.
That's awesome.
And I would, I don't care about Captain Hook, but I quit going to church when I discovered the Three Stooges. I found my saints, so. I really did.
Yeah. How quickly did you pick it up from listening to? Was that the first thing you remember then, like the Three Stooges? We can start there, because.
Well, it was stuck in my head. They used to show it every day before I went to school.
Okay.
I was already. I think I had just started school in maybe 1961.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so there was only 2.5 channels on television. They only went till about 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
And then they would play this little film at the end of the broadcast night, and it was showing all the combined powers of the armed forces and everything.
Okay.
And there was a poem that a guy was narrating about how, I have done this and I have done that. In other words, I am man. And,
Yeah.
We've done this and we've done that. And I guess he was a fighter pilot or something like that. Or maybe an airplane pilot even. But he talked about how he had reached the skies and broken barriers and finally touched the face of God. And that line used to just send shockwaves through me.
I bet, yeah.
No, I mean, just to hear that turn of a phrase. I guess I always had some sort of love of language in me. And, and then they would be off. They'd be gone. So, not only was there no television in the middle of the night or anything like that, or it just go off at 11, there was no way you could capture those things. There was no way you could preserve anything that you just saw.
Sure.
In other words, there was no video recording. There was no nothing. You know, it was like you lived with this anxiety day and night if you were a little freak like me that you just saw the coolest thing you were ever going to see in your life.
And you'll never get it back.
And I may never, ever, ever see it again because there was no way to know.
Yeah.
So, and so the desperation that a lot of artists had was to just cling to it psychically while during its airing, and try and suck every element out of it that you could, including the music.
Yeah.
You know, and I was a little musician. You know, I played trumpet when I was like 9, something like that. But even before that, I would just see all these cool things, and in 5 minutes it's going to be gone. It was like, it was like when you're down to your last bite of, you know, sea salt and caramel.
Sure.
You know, and it's like, gee, you know, I don't know. Do I really polish it off? And then it's like, I got to call it a day. It's gone. It's over.
Absolutely.
So, unless you're a glutton and you decide to,
Yeah, of course.
you know, go grab 5 more pints,
Right.
which an ex-addict would go do.
Sure.
But that's a whole other story. But what would happen was clinging to those things, the only available stuff was like that was recorded comedy. And that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean I mean recorded anything.
Sure.
Music. We had. I had heard Esquivel. I had heard what they now call space age bachelor pad music.
Yeah.
But back then it was just this exotic stuff that, like, if a guy wanted to get into the, you know, with his wife, get in the mood with a couple of cocktails, and you know, before the tie came off, they would listen to Exotica.
Right.
You know, and then they'd go bump uglies in the dark in the 50s, because you couldn't call it what it really was.
Of course.
But it set the mood, in other words.
On that note, I'm going to just real quick invite my buddy Jeremy in. Hi, Jeremy.
Oh, hey,
This
how
is
are you?
Jeremy.
Very nice to meet you.
Have a seat.
See, this is what I like to do. Come in late enough so that I don't know what's going on.
We're going to share my.
real
what we're,
anarchist.
That's
well,
fine. Yeah, exactly.
real
See, what's happening
It's
is
my
that
nature.
Billy West is giving me the birds and the bees speech. See, I didn't know. There are a lot of things I did not know.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're married and everything.
I know.
Your wife must be so disappointed.
She
in you.
really is.
Yeah, but
thankfully-
you can't sit here and tell me that you don't have volumes and reams of Martin Denny and...
You can see the collection. I guess we do kind of.
Who was the other guy? He never left Glendale, California, but he wrote about exotic Polynesian islands.
Oh, yeah. Did all those travel logs and things like that. What's his name?
Les Baxter.
That's it.
Yeah, he lived in Glendale.
And never left.
Never left ever in his life. But Les Baxter was part of the Mel Torme
Okay.
Meltones. You know, and he was a singer. But, you know, these guys just were thinking out of the box at the time, and they were wondering, what doesn't exist? I mean, people go see a movie, and they get treated to this beautiful soundtrack if it's an exotic movie of some type, and all the palettes that underscore bliss and escape and sex, you know.
Sure.
Yeah. But one of the records that I somehow had access to in 1962 was Jonathan Winters' Another Day, Another Planet. Now, I was enthralled, captivated with Jonathan Winters, but before him, I was exposed to Sid Caesar.
Yes.
When I lived in Detroit, it was the 50s, and my mom let me stay up till like 8 or 9. Yeah. And I remember sitting on the couch in the projects in Detroit with an old giant Muntz TV, black and white, and watching this crazy man. You know, it was the first televised image I think I ever saw.
Yeah.
And there's this crazy man that's like pulling hells and heavens out of his rear end, and he's like vocalizing and making noises and
also doing silent stuff, too.
and doing silent movie mimicry.
Sure.
Which was brilliant.
I mean, everything.
He could speak languages that you would swear were real languages.
Exactly right. Yeah.
And I just was an instant student of this guy,
Yeah.
Sid Caesar. He would do movie parodies, television show parodies, and it was like everything that I wound up to do. Just about all of it. it wrapped up in this guy who molecularly just shook me when I first saw him.
And I think that's one of the reasons why like Sid Caesar was so important, especially at that time, and the world of comedy. I mean, one, it was live comedy,
Television
from New York. I mean, like this was the real deal. And I think the original show was an hour and a half long. They originally gave him an hour and a half. That's what he asked for.
Right.
You know, when it was Caesar's Hour before it came your show of shows. And I mean, like the writing team that he had also would speak of Sid Caesar as if he was, I mean, he was this thing, you know, like
he was
not,
a god.
He was. He was
He
this
was a very
comedy
troubled god, as
Very
most of our mirth makers are.
unfortunately.
Yeah, and Jonathan Winters was also a very troubled god. But if you want to boil it down, these two guys were my heroes. Sid Caesar didn't make albums.
Sure.
But I was exposed to him first.
Yeah.
And I used to think to myself, what a crazy man. What kind of man does these things?
Yeah.
And why does he appear so iconic and heroic, like right out of the gate?
Right.
I suppose my suspension of disbelief was a little different when I was probably 2 or 3 or 4.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
But I did see it, and I remember bits. And
Yeah.
one of the things that struck me about him, like people, wacky was invented by people who ain't funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I
remember
do.
those NBC promos where all the cast of the different shows were doing the wacky dance?
Yeah.
Thing,
You know,
whatever it
must
is.
see
Like,
TV,
oh,
be
you caught
there.
me right. You caught me unawares, even though I'm completely in makeup and on a set. Oh,
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, and they're doing this impromptu wacky dance.
Right.
And it used to turn my stomach. Because you know that was co-opted by some bloodless, godless, artless suit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Dancing is funny.
Right.
More dancing, because dancing is funny. Okay. All right.
That's the truth.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, he's like the gatekeeper and the arbiter of what's cool and what ain't.
Yeah.
So when I saw that stuff, I said, this is just nothing but wacky. And then I began to muse on it, and I said, wacky was invented by people who ain't funny.
Yeah.
Well, people that were truly funny. Now most kids and most young people can't tell the difference who's really funny and who ain't, who's cool musically and who ain't, who's a faker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they just, there's no real scrutiny going on.
Yeah.
And also, I think there is some scrutiny. Unfortunately, it's like the opinions that matter are just as loud as those idiots who said, do the wacky dance. No, with more arms, because arms
Yes.
is wacky. That's
Yes.
how my cousin did it at the party.
Well, you know that
You know-
they do listen to people that have, you know, a head on their shoulder that
Sure.
go to the internet and say stuff. Sometimes it can influence somebody to back down.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the best. It doesn't happen enough.
I love. Meanwhile, there's all this other crowd of people that, you know, it's like anyone can play the home game.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people that are so malevolent that they post with a vehemence. You know, and I'm sitting there thinking about this. This guy's always on my website, or he's always on somebody's website, and you look at the content, and it's usually, you know, it could be like the lady's Sodality Home and Garden website, you know, and some woman will be there, and it's like, I just planted my azaleas, you know, yahoo, you know, and then there'll be another one, and it's like, this is also a good time to plant geraniums, but be conscious of putting out as many bee-friendly plants as you can. And then the next post will be, fuck you.
Right, it just escalates from 1 to 100.
Yeah, and you know the stupid kid is like 13 or
yeah,
something.
if that, yeah.
Yeah, just gonna reach in and
Sure.
I'm here.
Right.
I'm here to wipe your face in the carpet, you know.
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, it
And
could
there's
be an
nothing
adult.
you can do about it.
There's
It's this
nothing.
cheesy, cheap little form of power. It's
Yeah.
not even. It's just.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
It's like the arguing equivalent of ringing somebody's doorbell and running
Absolutely.
I know, but you know what that is? That's like having the ambition to be a rock in someone's shoe your whole
Yeah.
life.
away.
It's a
yeah.
What an
false-
ambition.
Yeah.
It's a false sense of anarchy. It's like they really think they might affect some change.
I know, but they post with a vehemence like there was an award
Yeah.
to be given.
Yeah. I
You know, like they're really trying. You know, and there's no Hall of Fame for a-hole posters.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if there is, it's the Hall of Nothing because what you say affects nothing and nobody.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have that place would have the worst gift shop ever.
Oh.
I mean, it would be awful if they did exist.
Yeah, remember this one? Fail.
That was good.
Yeah, that's $5.
Totally worth it.
Yeah. Epic fail. Oh, that's $12.
These guys, do you,
Brought to you by poster number 7.
Right,
you know,
yeah, and-
Bismarck hates you.
And these memes.
Memes. Yeah, I liked them better when they were called things that just sort of stuck in your head.
Yeah, just something I thought of once and then go away.
yeah.
Yeah, but I was gonna say that, the idea of what's funny and what isn't. It's like that question should just be put out to pasture. It's no longer, debatable or, because people, it's like comedy's really more subjective now than it ever was before.
Yeah.
There's so many. It's like Baskin Robbins. Like how many flavors of comedy.
For sure.
And then some.
Yeah.
But that's okay by me. But like when a pass-fail system gets created, it bugs me
Of course, yeah.
because it becomes the norm. Like all these new cartoons that I audition for, they look like children's refrigerator art. Honestly,
Yeah.
and that's the objective.
Sure.
And it's supposed to be about nothing.
Right.
And
Yeah,
it's
and-
not funny, but guess what? If you create that as a thing that everybody wonders about, why? What is this? Why did they do? Someone thinks they understand it, and then it becomes culty.
Of course.
Yeah. So, but the thing about that is, these 20-somethings have created a substandard that is now the norm. And the reason they did it, whether they knew it or not, I happen to know because I'm about 80 years old. But they did it so that no one can fail.
Sure.
Nobody can fail.
Yeah.
It's like, if no one understands what it's about, big deal.
Yeah.
If the drawing just looks like, I don't know,
Yeah, it looks disturbing.
Peter
or like,
Max threw up or
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
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 Or there was somebody, like my 6-year-old trying to do a Linda Barry cartoon,
Right. Yeah, but she's really trying. She
that's
doesn't.
what I
doesn't
mean.
want substandard.
Exactly.
She's
going
aiming as
for
high
it.
as she can.
Absolutely. I'm talking about somebody trying to like come up with a quality and not even understand what went into the original.
Well, no, they all want to be Seth MacFarlane, so you get
Yeah.
like two producer masterminds that decide that they insist that they're going to do their own anemic voices for the characters,
Right.
and they think they're Seth, But the thing is Seth is a master, a craftsman in every sense of the word, an artisan,
Yeah.
a guy who's willing to work like 20 hours a day if he could. I know him.
Yeah.
I know him. I've been on his show a couple times on Family Guy. Yeah, and that's the stuff that counts. Is everybody wants to have the finished product with the accolades and the money and all this other stuff without having to do any real work or search your soul or bang your head against the wall.
Sure.
That part gets glossed over. It's almost like somebody saying they're sorry for something. That part's too hard to deal with for most people now, so they want to skip that step and go, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's almost sociopathic. Oh boy, am I going to get...
It's alright. The
There's,
comments will be
there's
on
probably
my blog.
a wrecking ball heading right for my bedroom right now.
Please.
You said this about us, and now you must pay.
There goes my house, it's disintegrated. Oh, you little devils. Oh, how I'll laugh when you die. Oh, how I laughed.
We can never die. We are the substandards. We take the low road, doesn't everybody? Old man,
It's easy.
relic from the past, cling to your standards and aiming high.
Well, that's another thing we talk about on this show a lot is, and I don't like to sound like a grandpa whenever I talk about it, I don't just like old comedy because I'm nostalgic. I like old comedy because I do appreciate that these are people who had a fallback, which was like a whole, like, I can fucking dance like a motherfucker. I'm doing comedy, but I can also dance. I can also sing because I trained.
Well, you
them,
were what was
you know?
called originally in Hollywood a triple threat.
Yeah, right.
Now you don't even have... You could be like an idle threat.
Well, I mean, that's why I love, for Singing in the Rain, when they're describing Lena, when they come up with a great idea. It's like, wait a minute, we can't do that plan. Like, Lena, why? She can't sing, she can't dance, she can't act.
Oh, I
triple
know.
threat, right? I mean, but that's what it is
And I
today.
can't stand him.
Can't stand him.
Oh, that was Hans Conried.
Oh God, so good.
The great Hans Conried.
I love that movie. But that's literally what it is. You know, it's. I don't think, you know, you talk about all these kids and everything not understanding where it comes from, but I
But
mean,
look at how they were raised. They were raised in like a generation where the media basically was bombarding them with the message: you're a superstar or you're nothing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Lifestyles of the rich and famous, all this other. Don't you wish you were me?
yeah.
Don't you wish you were my leg that gets to walk on this property? You know, I mean, just it was almost like, you're not going to be anything. And so they just had this superstar shit in their head, and it's like everybody was proud of the job they had. Mm-hmm. If you had a good job and you were supporting your family, it's like you didn't always have one eye. You know, go down the marina and you've got a nice kind of little speedboat, you know,
Right.
wooden, old-fashioned with the glass windows, you know, and then you start looking to the marina left and right, and there's these like castles on wheels, on waves,
Yeah.
and you start feeling like nothing. So imagine growing up like that, feeling like you're nothing if you didn't have everything.
Right.
But there is a way to have everything. It doesn't happen to everybody, but you got to work like crazy. Otherwise, you've got a country full of lottery dreamers. Mm-hmm. You know, all I got to do is this, and I'll be famous and I'll be rich.
Yeah, and it goes to entertainment too. It's like I don't even have to have any tangible skills. Like look how all the people in reality television who make a career out of being, less interesting than people I know who aren't in entertainment.
Well, number one, my heroes weren't effing celebrities.
Yeah,
they just weren't. My heroes were artists.
Yes,
Yeah.
they were,
I had no celebrity worship. If there was a particular man that portrayed a part, I believed in the character.
Sure.
I don't want to hear what he has to say politically and all this other crap. He's just not that interesting.
Sure.
What he became as a character was a concerted effort of guys who wrote. They had literary backgrounds. They didn't watch TV to learn to write for TV. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had literature that they were students of. And, you know, it just... I think, well, what I want to say is there's people that, if there are people taking me seriously, the other stuff you don't have to take seriously. but I wound up doing everything I dreamed about, but I was willing to work for it. I have immigrant mentality. You know, if I had the chance to work for 20 hours a day, I would do it. To this day. You know, it's just like, that's all I know. I'm a journeyman.
As far as new frontiers, I can't tell you too much. I can tell you Jackie's fine, and we're all fine right here. You know, I was thinking, I don't know why Kennedy came to mind, but it's almost a Walter Brennan, if you think about it. You know, Walter Brennan talks like this, Dan, down in the valley. And if you sort of change it a little to Kennedy and frontiers, going ahead as far as the campaign goes, it's pretty close.
Time and effort in,
Sure.
but with me I had no choice. It was passion, it was obsession. I had OCD, ADD, no, ADHD. I was just diagnosed with that. Yeah, like at the beginning of this year.
Shit.
And I was like, I got ADHD. You know, I've read lots about it. But the thing is you're the last one. And so my friends were saying, you paid somebody to tell you that?
We could have told you.
We could have told you. And I'm going, yeah, I know. If I had like $1 for every conversation I interrupted, I'd have a house in Bermuda, you know.
That's what I teach, and I actually made that rule at our last meeting. I was like, can we all please speak without anyone interrupting? And then before the next person could agree with me, I interrupted them. And I was like, well, at least I know where we're starting. So I'm not going to follow my own rule. If
See what I
cool
just
with
did
that.
there? You know, it's like
Yeah.
there's kids are born learning machines. You know, they're sitting there going, we saw what you just did
Oh
there.
yeah, it's the worst. 'Cause, I mean, and that's how I learned. It's like that was it. Like I was lucky enough to have somebody who exposed me to your show of shows, Monty Python's Flying Circus, Warner Brothers cartoons, Faulty Towers, like all that stuff when I was little. And when you see that, when you're that impressionable age, there's no substituting it with crap.
Right.
There's no
Right.
going back to crap.
No, there isn't.
You have to maintain that level, and then you start finding these bizarre
Well,
things.
I used to
the
say-
Fire Sign Theater when I was 12.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like things like that. You know.
That wasn't exactly my cup of tea because that came when I graduated, after I graduated high school. But I mean, the stuff that we were talking about, like Sid Caesar and Jonathan Winters, Danny Kaye,
Yeah.
Right.
these phenomenal, the comedians like Jack Carter, so underrated. He was a dynamo. He was like a Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, seriously, and of course, Jonathan Winters was the
Oh,
prototype,
Yeah.
Robin Williams. He was inspired by pretty much the same stuff as I was.
Sure.
Everything was Jonathan Winters. If you could see a man on like primetime television on like the Jack Parr show having a conversation with his shoe,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's for me.
Yeah.
This is like sent right to me as a gift.
Yeah.
That's the way I used to look at it.
How did you get a hold of this album first? Was it in the family or?
You know what it is? You had to find things just like, hey, in someone's corner,
Yeah.
in their house, and I'd go, oh my God. And so the whole idea of Another Day, Another Planet, I mean, I loved futuristic stuff. I liked this thing that made me laugh, comedy, when
Yeah.
it was called comedy.
Sure.
I mean, I think something really, really, really funny is going to come along someday and replace comedy soon, but I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? It can't be called that anymore.
Yeah, it'll have to
You
step
can't
up for
call
something
anything
else.
rock and roll. Cool and rock and roll was
Yeah.
invented in the 50s.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, everybody.
It's gone.
Yeah, gonzo.
Yeah.
But I got a hold of it, and I remember listening to it, and it was like I found myself doting on particular bits. And then someone got me or passed something along to me that was Jonathan Winters live somewhere. And he was taking requests from people.
Yes. Yeah.
And so if you have any requests, I'd be happy to do them for you. And somebody said, an elephant wrapping a present for his girlfriend. And he goes, an elephant wrapping a present for his girlfriend. Got to be the male, right?
Son of a bitch.
But it was clean and beautiful.
Oh,
it was
God.
pure. It was like a thing of pure beauty, poetry in motion.
All those guys, they knew how to tell a dirty joke that left it up
yeah.
to the audience.
Of course they did.
'Cause those
Yeah.
are the best. I don't want to hear you use the words. I want you to leave it as innuendo so that my brain will fill in the filthiest
Exactly.
thing on the planet.
Absolutely.
And make me so embarrassed that I have to laugh. You
Right,
know what I mean?
but also you have to be, you am what you is. I mean, if that's the stuff that you're good at and it makes people laugh, you got me. You got my vote. But the old buzzards used to say, I don't like these new guys. They work blue and everything. Meanwhile, there's tapes of these guys behind closed doors at roasts and stuff, and they're filthy.
I
Oh
know.
yeah.
I mean, they were working dark blue.
Oh yeah.
And so I thought about it. It's like they're bitching about like Dice Clay and stuff. and I wondered it'd be like if you had like George Dice Burns, or something. So I'm standing in a bank line with my tongue up this chick's ass. What else is that to do? When they laugh, I smoke. When they don't, I tell a joke. Oh! Oh!
That's a great bit.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
George Dice Burns. See, I know the cleanest dirty joke in the world. And I told it over the weekend at a convention. I was just sitting there, and these people were sitting there, and I said, I know the cleanest dirty joke in the world, like little Johnny Jones. That's kind of how I come off, like the boy next door with no stunger. Hi! And so I go, I know the cleanest dirty joke in the world. And I go, did you hear about the guy that couldn't come? Dead silence. We had to go get him.
Fucking love it.
But
That's
see,
a good one.
I used to do stuff like that when I was like, before I was 10 years old. I used to think of stuff to evoke a reaction, but it was not well received. You know what? And especially by my own friends.
Really?
Yeah, that's something I try to explain to people, and I didn't get much readout on it. But me and Tom Kenny and Anthony Cumia, who was a radio personality, and George Lowe, who was the voice of Space Ghost. We're sitting there, and and I said something about how if anybody here feels like they've got talent and they don't know what the hell to do with it, or you're bursting to contribute and you don't know where to start, well, here's where I started. It's like you go home, you're constantly sitting there how to dream up something cool to show to your friends that came from you, not show and tell, like, hey, look,
Look at this. Yeah.
look at these sunglasses, man. Yeah. No, something that originated organically from you that was you're hoping to elicit a reaction, usually laughs or just whoa, something cool.
Yeah.
And you go in front of them and there's no readout. You do something and it's just like they just look at you. And I used to say, I'm inadequate. I'm like malfunctioning. Because I'm nothing. Not even a boo or a yay, just nothing. And I'd go home and I'd work on it and I'd keep trying and trying. I wish some adult could have stuck his head into my world at that time. Some really cool adult, not just your average, full of shit. When I was 10 years old, I was convinced that most adults, I knew in my heart of heart, were full of shit.
Sure. Yeah.
I did. I was a very, like, a little cop, a little detective, watching, listening, watching, because it would serve me later on in life.
Of course.
But, I wish somebody could have come in and just said, listen, it ain't you. It's them.
Yeah.
It's not you.
Yeah.
How would you feel if every day you had to go out and there's this, you would be a constant and painful reminder of what none of them will ever be able to do. How would you feel?
Right.
And I said, no, not too good, really. The same way I feel when I go watch, like, movies and there's somebody that's funnier than hell. And it's like, I just want to be that. I wish I could be that. But you never get the chance to say anything to the guy.
Sure.
You wish but that was, like, nebulous. That was a dream. You didn't even dare think like that. Like, how on earth am I ever going to meet that guy? And you know what? It comes to pass that I met almost all my heroes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that.
No.
And they said, don't. Do not. Like, whatever you do, don't meet your idol, because
you'll be disappointed.
Because your undying adulation and love for them could turn into abject hatred.
So far, that theory turns out to be bullshit on my show. At the very least. That's, That's the purpose of this show.
Well, you
for
have
me.
good taste.
I do have good taste. That is true. But I understand that. Like, there is that absolute fear, and growing up as a kid myself with just tons of fear and OCD,
and anxiety.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I just didn't know I had it. I thought I was judging what they say my insides to everyone else's outsides.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just thought, in my 20s and 30s and even 40s, I said, maybe I'm just a pussy and I can't, like, deal with life on life terms.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not even like that. I finally got help, and women have always been my best teachers in life, by the way.
100%.
And she saw me. She was very compassionate. She said, tell me about what you do in the morning. And I said, well, I get up, What about your career? I said, everything is going, like, so great. It's incredible, and yet I have no reason to silently celebrate. It's like I don't even think of like, being happy or content, because I'm fighting this other thing that appears out of nowhere. Like what? And I said, I wake up in the morning, I'm doing okay, and all of a sudden my breath gets staggered. Like think of something, just something from 28 years ago will pop in my head, and I'll go, like I'm reliving it again. That's OCD.
100%.
Yeah, and then I felt like there was a sort of Damocles over my head, because I felt I was in nothing but trouble, and my mind would run wild with this stuff. And she's looking at me, and she said, and then what? And I said, I go in the shower and turn on the water. All of a sudden, this black cloud just crushes me down to the floor. I just don't know what to do, and I fetal position, and I look up at the drops going down the glass, and said, I can't go out. I can't go out there.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't. Nobody would understand. But then I said, well, don't worry about it. Everybody has this happen to them. Somehow they pull it together.
Yeah.
And so she had a tear in her eye and looked at me, and she was shaking her head and slowly, and she said, Billy, nobody has to live like that in this day and age. I said, what do you mean? So she sent me to a pharmacologist, and I actually was treated for all these things that were just a way of life.
Sure.
And and I wanted. Whose ass do you kick when you find out at 50 that you had chronic low-level depression and that you basically your whole life could have been a write-off?
Right.
But no,
Yeah.
because I knew I could A/B instantly what's good and what sucks.
Yeah.
People forget. People that have normal feelings and don't have lacks of chemicals and stuff. I mean, what is it like? What are you born without? Like $1.83 worth of chemicals? And that's all it is sometimes. But you have to have talk therapy because of how you conducted your life as a result of having to deal with those things. But I mean, that's basically what it is. No levels of endorphin. Oh, nothing. Just the thing that makes you give you a sense of well-being.
Right.
Who needs it?
Oh, nothing. Yeah.
I have Doritos. Who needs that?
That's right. Well, some people... I love talking about this stuff because every time I go to a Comic-Con, it's like, why is he bumming everybody out with his stuff? And I said, because they know everything else about me. I offered up. I offered myself. I put my pajamas on the line, in public.
And honestly, what's going to help more? Repeating some piece of information that takes 6 seconds to look up on the internet or something that might actually connect with somebody who's going through the same thing.
Well,
but there's a
exactly right.
certain kind of person, usually, that winds up with this stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a lot of them are sitting right there in front of me.
Yeah.
And I have people looking like they're gonna cry when they look at themselves, and it's like someone had to say that, otherwise there's despondency. And I said, just there's help. Be a seeker. Just keep going till you find what it is you need. Talk to people. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And I said, because it's murder. And I said, I know a lot of you are sitting there saying the same thing. Yeah, you know what, Billy? It is murder. And so people thank me. Thank you for talking about that. I go through it day in and day out. Like a lot of people, not a majority, but like a good amount of people have those kind of problems.
Well, and I mean that's another thing too. Is like we at the Robin Williams tribute that we did over the weekend. We're talking a bit about Jonathan Winters because obviously that's going to happen. Yeah. So and we didn't dwell too much on mental illness because we didn't want to talk about it in a fucking live show. But
Why not?
I love getting into it. But
Why not?
Just because we were talking more about his career, and we had this little motherfucker right next to me, and I don't mean to. That's not to insult him. This guy does the most intensely, upsettingly good Robin Williams, and he looks exactly like him.
Really? Who is it?
His name is Jamie Costa. I'll show you the video after.
The YouTube video.
Okay.
Upsettingly good.
Yes.
Like he was born with it, but also
Really?
can imitate. Like you can look like him, but if you
So
can
he's
suck
sort
that
of
out
like the
yourself.
Von Meter of
Robin Williams.
impressions.
Absolutely right. But at the very
How do you even know that reference? Is what I want to know.
hold on? Where am I?
See, now he's going to pull something out to embarrass us all.
Ich bin ein Berliner.
Would you like one of my 7 copies of the First Family?
Do you have Yucca Puck?
Yuck Puck's on here. Absolutely. It is.
Is Yuba the Tuba on here?
That one is not on there, but Yucca Puck is the first song on that thing right there. That one, I love.
Here's the comedy spot, Rob. That's the comedy spot, Baldy. I was out with Tickles last night. Oh, you should have been there, Rob.
Yeah, we just did this one a couple weeks ago. That fucking album is weird as
Oh,
shit.
for corn's sake, buddy. Oh, for crying out loud, buddy.
But
Do Dick Van Dyke impressions like 80 years too late.
he's still around.
It's
Maybe
so
it's
great.
fine.
That's what
I
love.
met him once, yeah.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, that was probably my favorite thing on the Jonathan Winters album is his impression of what is it? Not Bela Lugosi, but
Karloff.
Karloff.
Yeah.
It's just and he just goes into it so seamlessly. It's just so fantastic.
Well, that makes me think about the albums where they had impressionists doing, the First Family, like the Von Meter records.
Yeah.
The story of Von Meter, in case nobody knows, is that, he was an impressionist and he had a damn good John F. Kennedy impression. So that was his golden ticket, as they say in Wonka Land. He found his horse and carriage. Yeah. And he was just being so popular and making great records as the president and the First Family with other impressionists. And then Kennedy was assassinated, and it's like the rug of life got pulled out from underneath him.
Yeah. I think Lenny Bruce's line was, "Well, Von Meter's screwed."
Wow,
the night he
yeah.
died,
Yeah.
Sounds like him.
Yeah, but I mean, this guy that does Robin Williams, you know what? If he's doing it, means he's got the spirit of crazy in him, which I applaud.
Yeah.
He'll
Yeah.
find his own voice.
Yeah.
He will. He's got to reinvent himself.
Of course,
and,
yeah.
and stay true to what he feels.
We were actually talking about that exact same thing on the stage. I mean, I wasn't trying to get this guy advice, but Rick Overton's on stage, and he's not one to shy away from giving people advice. So Rick Overton was just pumping advice into this kid on stage. And
Well,
it's like,
Rick
this
is
exactly
one
right.
of the best I've ever seen, and one of the smartest that I've
Yeah.
ever seen. I
yeah.
just sit there. I hold all these people in real high esteem.
Sure.
I'm not like a snob that, no, I don't want to get into that, or or secretly angry because somebody's funnier than me. I mean,
Right.
stand up is a really hard thing.
Of course, yeah.
I
yeah.
couldn't do it. I
No,
thought
me
I
neither.
could, but you know what? I would go out on stage with no material because I felt like there was nothing at stake. If
Okay,
I was
okay.
just spewing out 12 minutes that it took me 3 years to get together and write and hone it,
Right.
I wasn't afraid to die. That was my problem.
Yeah.
If I was screwing around and I found something I was divining for brilliance or whatever you want to call it, if I found one thing, it was worth it to me to find something that nobody had covered, or just a certain way of presenting something that was just really different.
Yeah.
But you don't have time for mistakes.
Sure. Was it easy to recognize how different Jonathan Winters was even as a kid though? Like that
Absolutely.
Yeah. What was it that like immediately set it apart for you? If you can identify it, that might be.
Well, let's put it this way: he wasn't London Lee or Stanley Myron Handelman. These guys, the comedians that would come on Merv Griffin.
Sure.
But when Jonathan Winters came out there, it was an event.
Okay.
I mean, it was like it resonated. The emotional resonance that came from a television, a cathode ray.
Yeah.
And that was not wasted on people like me. And most people, because they were pretty much smart about stuff like that.
Sure.
There was some guys that just were sort of boozy, hey, everybody comedians, and
Right.
people that just didn't even come from that street. They just came from, like a skyhook brought them down and left them off, and then came back to get them when it was over.
Yeah. That was the one thing too, is that Rick Overton was talking a bit about that Jonathan Winters to the very end was pretty lucid in there, so it's not like
He was.
you can't call this crazy, even though he was pretty open about any mental illness he had. But like it's not like
He
that's
was.
what this was.
Well, Red Skelton, same thing.
Sure, yeah.
They'd have to get him out of a tree.
Oh man.
And Jonathan Winters, pretty much the same thing. Like, he would float away like helium. He'd get into a persona, zip it up, and disappear.
Yeah.
And very hard to retrieve.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was because there was a part of him that was reticent, that was sort of afraid to be who and what he was. And I certainly understand that.
Sure.
It's a safe, the shoreline's always right within distance if you're mimicking or you got a thing that makes people laugh.
Yeah.
But to get help helps you reinvent yourself into more of what you needed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there something specific about mimicking? Is it a comfort thing?
It is, but it just came natural to me. I didn't think much about it. Oh, hi.
I had a great idea. All right, never mind.
Yes, I know I'm going to Dublin next week. Yes, I know that. Thanks for that update.
Thank you, Fred.
So I slipped him some ridiculous thing. Well, it must have been $10, And so I got all the way back to the hotel. Gee, they were just like they were burning on me. And my wife said, what's the matter with you? And I said, well, I got some pictures. I want to get rid of them and give them to a buddy. And so I said, here they are. And what they were statues of the museum there. Clown had given me the shaft. And, of course, I got the shaft in a number of towns. But I just want to warn you, if you ever do get over there, why, just be careful. That's all they are, is just those statues. Means nothing, unless you dig statues. I find them awfully cold. But I crawled up in the arms of a big one day, and the guy took a picture of me. That was the first time I went away, but...
favorite bit on this album? Because there's a lot of really
I'm
just
trying to
fantastic
remember. You
shit.
got to refresh me because
Sure,
I
sure,
haven't
sure,
heard it in a million years.
Okay, all right. Well, there's side one is just entitled "Opening California," and he talks about San Jose and pronouncing it St. Joe's, being a little confused.
That I remember that. You know why? Because when I first came out here, I saw La Cienega, and I said to my friends, "You know what that means, don't you?" the Cienega.
See, that's brilliant. I got so much mileage for about 8 seconds after LeBron James came on the scene in the NBA. Because I turned to all my friends and I was like, wow, LeBron, actually that's a very famous name. It's French. And they go, really? What's it French for? The Bron.
Yes. Well played. See, that's
And
it.
everybody looked at me like, what the fuck is your problem?
You know what, though? You know what it is? I hate to say this, because your friends certainly aren't swine. But there was a saying called pearls before swine. It's almost like if you gave a caveman a dollar bill, he would wipe his ass with
Right.
it. He might have a revelation later.
Yeah.
But what you were doing was time-release humor. Maybe the Dristan or the Contact cold capsule will work for them later in a
at some
24-hour
point.
cycle,
Right.
or it won't help them at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Yeah, no.
Dristan.
There's a lot of stuff on here. There's Igor and the Monster,
Yes.
The
I
Lost
love that.
Island.
Oh, when he does, the B-movie picture, guys. That's great.
Do you know that me and Tom Kenny did a cartoon called B-Movie?
Mm-hmm.
It was part of
Oh, yeah.
Toonsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Spielberg.
Uh-huh.
And Tommy played the flying leatherneck hero, with the scarf and the leather jacket. And
Right.
I don't know if we can take on these people. He was doing his best, phony baloney hero,
Yeah.
pretty boy,
Mm-hmm.
fighter pilot. And I'm the tail gunner, and my name is Jersey. And after anything I said, I would say the word hey.
Yeah, well, all the ammunition's gone, hey.
But that's a New Jersey thing. Oh, hi. Mind on my money, on my money, on my mind, I got my mind.
There we go.
Nice.
Only man who can make a phone call interrupting a show work. Thank you so much.
And the record scratching of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, are you kidding? That was
Oh, yeah.
the best part of it. That was the best part of it.
All I know, he's about to drop some shit now.
Pretty hip, huh?
That was
I'm whiter than white. I'm not even white, I'm clear. As Bill Murray once said to Larry Bird.
What was George Carlin's? People so white that they're blue.
Yeah,
I love
well,
that
their
one.
anatomy is pretty prevalent. in
You
that,
can
in
just
that-
see everything.
Oh, that's funny.
Let's see, I made a few notes about just some good bits on here where he's just... Oh, we're talking about... There's just one really funny bit where he's talking about going to a movie and how you bring your snacks, your a box of clothes. There was just this line. Where it said, a box of clothes was the funniest line to me, and I don't know why.
But that was him. That was him taking divine dictation. That's the only way I can put it. Like whatever broadcast center that was aiming towards him, and he had the only receiver in the world, or one of the few.
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
Yeah.
Just something would pop out, but he also walked on a net. He lived on the net. Without one underneath. I meant the line. He walked on the trap. The what do you call it?
The high wire.
High wire act.
That's him. And I think people like Eddie Izzard are kind of tuned into that same frequency.
Yes, they are.
Because you can tell like especially in that the going to the movies bit, he was like, okay, this is when I go into the list, and then you see his brain literally leap 3 feet out of his head, and he's just like, I'm gonna come up with things on a list. It's like, you got your popcorn, your Milk Duds, your bag of clothes, your lobster thermidor, your butterfly net, and he's going, and he comes right back to the movie thing, so you don't even notice.
Right.
And that's like Eddie Izzard. Sometimes he'll go off on something, and he's coming up with a list, and all of a sudden there's toast and jam and whatever the hell else before it comes back to but he'll always.
But I think Jonathan Winters probably had a loose sketch of what he might do.
Sure,
I don't think he ever did it the same way twice.
No. And that's what's so amazing is listening to these bits is you'll hear people do stuff on albums and they'll trip over themselves or have little catches or whatever. This is all coming stream of consciousness and there is not a lag. There's no filter. It's going right from his brain out of his mouth.
Yes.
And it's incredible.
Well, I don't know. He would scan everything and everything for its potential for being personification, like a little blue bird, and he would just start messing with it, and there is a little bird here, and it's like tweet stole all its ideas from me. Twitter, you know, you can't see it, but
And it is blue.
it's
So-
robin's egg blue. It's ceramic and it's real cute.
Too bad if something were to happen to it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thank you for breaking it.
I just broke your bird. You know, I mean, that's pure Jonathan Winters.
Yeah. And what I was noticing too is just like if you were to try and break this down, if you felt like it, the premises are so incredibly simple.
Oh, yeah.
Just to give himself so much room to play.
Well, he would say, you know, he'd demonstrate in like 1 minute 100 things you can do with a pen and pencil, like what they can become. Yeah, those bits on there, I remember a lot of them, and it made me think like that pretty much early on before I put together things the way most people are supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, like I can remember, like I have a hard time remembering movies. I remember certain parts of them because that's what I fixated on.
Right.
I went to see The Deep Blue, that beautiful film about the divers that were going down so deep no one had ever gone that before without equipment.
Bah.
And they would just go, you know. And this one guy fell in love with a dolphin and everything. And I didn't like pay a whole lot of attention to the dialogue.
Yeah.
You know, what I was doing was watching the sea in its different forms, and I got lost in it.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching this peripheral corner of the movie, and somebody, how'd you like it? I said, it was beautiful. You mean like the plot and the characters? Like, no, it was just beautiful. I was lost.
Yeah.
The ocean.
No, and that makes perfect sense. That's where, if you have that certain type of brain, that's just how shit's gonna work for you. So when you first started doing comedy and stuff, were you at any point inspired directly by Jonathan Winters, or were you just your own thing when you
No,
first
it
started
just
being
kind of
funny?
it had a tendency to try to be that way. Because when I prepared written material, it just wasn't funny.
Okay.
And it wasn't coming from me totally. It was coming from what I thought I should be doing.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, and it was like there's a disconnect there.
Sure.
You want this unbroken, pure connection, your mind, your heart, your body, and your soul. It should be like sort of joined up. And then it rings true to people.
Yeah.
Louis C.K., you know, I mean, he couldn't spend the rest of his life imitating George Carlin. No, and he said it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did a great Carlin. He was doing his best Louis C.K. doing George Carlin. He was never going to be as good as Louis C.K. was going to be, and he was never going to be as good as Carlin was going to be.
Right, and you'll
So-
become a footnote to either one,
Right.
yourself or him,
Yeah.
the other guy.
I mean, he even plays. He somehow makes hay out of the lights go out twice in this album, and he gets a laugh both times the lights
Of
go out.
course.
Yeah, because he's dealing with it,
You know?
and that's one of those things that I saw, and you notice when you're like a young comedian, you're stealing from people. It's like the shit that blows your mind is when you're like, wow, this is just something that I know is not planned or anything else, and he's got the audience still right, or she's got the audience right in their pocket.
Yeah.
And I mean, and holding on to it. You know, I watched Gregory Hines do it once. You know, like, and you see it in bizarre places. I went to go see Twelfth Night, Shakespeare in the Park in New York, and Gregory Hines was playing Feste, and all of a sudden the sound crapped up, and the sound went out, and there was a technical problem, and all the lights went, and he had to riff as Feste. I mean, like, he couldn't do it all in iambic pentameter,
Of course.
but he stayed in character for like 3.5 minutes.
Very fertile ground.
You
there.
got it, but he went for it. He went and he dove right into the audience, first row. I got rich New Yorkers in the front row. Let's make fun of these people.
That's part panic, and that's how you overcompensate for being mortified, you know. And so, okay, I think I'll dive into the front row.
Yeah, and but he started with the
You
material.
know what? And give up show business.
Yeah, you got it.
I
Started
broke
with
both
material.
wrists. And
Yeah,
my
and then he
ankles.
had them, and by the time it came back on, he just seamlessly went right back into the lines, and everybody gave him this giant, almost standing ovation. You know, and because he never let it drop.
Well, see, the thing about Jonathan Winters, something like that happens to him, and he doesn't have the standard what to do if this happens or that happens. His brain was not concerned with those things.
Right.
Because, you know, once you've set boundaries, like one night something or other is bound to happen. So I better be prepared with like some witty, cloying dialogue or something.
Yeah.
Hey, I just made that up. You know, it's almost like most comedians had something ready.
Yeah.
Like a standard in show business was like the Henny Youngman thing. You know, he's like, I solved the parking problem. I bought a parked car. And if you heard a door slam, he'd go, and stay out.
Right.
Of course.
You know, I mean, but those were like, they knew exactly what to do when little junk happened in a club.
Yeah.
You know, broken glasses or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like Jonathan Winters, any of this was an opportunity to play.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything that happens.
Yes.
Yeah, why do some old hackneyed bit when
Yeah.
here's a chance to do something new and in the moment?
Why?
you know?
Because most people couldn't handle that.
Yeah,
That kind of
well,
fucking
yeah.
pressure you would think on somebody, and I don't know the specifics of his mental illness. I just know that would kill me. I don't.
You talking about Robin Williams?
No, just Jonathan Winters, like just being able to. I don't know.
You know, there's a
specifics of
common
any of
theme
his.
here of all these brilliant bastards.
That's 100%
You know, I mean,
right.
I can raise my hand. I didn't have screwed up brainwaves where I needed to kill people,
Right. Luckily.
you know, or animals. But I mean, I was in my own way through no fault of my own, and it makes you behave certain ways.
For sure.
And a lot of it is destructive.
Mm-hmm.
Because somehow you don't think you're good enough, no matter what.
Of course.
You can't hear laughter when they're roaring.
And even if it is laughter, it's not even getting that thing where it's not the right kind of laugh.
Yep.
But you know, do
yeah.
you know what I realized early on? That even Robin Williams would fall into these places when you listen to him perform, where he was not confident in his own stuff, so he was notorious because he was sort of a fast-forward thief.
Sure.
He claimed that he was so quick that if he heard something that he didn't know whether it was his or someone else's. He even stole the title to his first album, Reality with a Concept. That was some schlub's bit. You know, that was it, all he had. That was it.
Ah.
And he used to say, you know, Robin, why? And Robin paid him, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, he paid him a lot of money.
Sure.
But I mean, that speaks volumes about how even he was like unsure if what he was doing was working.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a great temptation when you panic. You know, you just grab some line, see if you can get a laugh. But I was not, like I said, I was never afraid to die.
Sure.
Yeah, some nights it would be like brilliant, and some nights it would be like going to hell in a twisted metal fireball. Greased pole to hell.
The best kind of comedy.
Do you know, are there, just off the top of your head, are there any, because he actually even breaks down and talks about impressions on this, which I think is fucking fantastic. Going from Walter Brennan to JFK is a really good bit. Like, just like,
Yes.
you just
It's a
have
good-
to do
it's a
this,
very
and
good
it's
bit.
fucking fantastic.
Well, those were the guys who were observant enough to pick up and invent the impression of someone in their time. Like we always, Cary Grant never said Judy, Judy, Judy.
Yeah.
But you know who did? Larry Storch.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, Judy, Judy, Judy. You know, and that was because the rhythm of it would commit you to the laugh, just the pure rhythm of it. And that it hit, and it was the way Cary Grant would speak anyway, because it was almost like a Gatling gun. You know, when I saw those two big, beautiful boobs, I knew that I was in trouble. You know, like declarative.
I was just watching Some Like It Hot, and I'm watching Tony Curtis, and I'm like, that is the worst impression I've ever heard, but he makes it work. God
Yes.
damn it.
I know.
Well, you could apply that to cartoons too.
Oh, yeah.
Even a lousy impression of somebody is a voice no one's ever heard before.
Yeah.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not afraid to do that. Like Nixon in Futurama.
Yeah, so great.
Well, that bastard drafted me in 1970, and they were stenciling my name on the footlocker. In the draft lottery, I had number 30. I was going to go to Vietnam. So I went nutty and tried to drink tons of seawater, you know, and what else? Take a tablespoon of linseed oil, give yourself a temporary heart murmur. None of that worked. But what did work was I had hypertension already, and I had the flattest feet. They would suck the floor if I was barefoot. You know, they were just flat. And so I got out. But, I mean, that was harrowing because I just got out of high school. I was playing in bands, had a guitar, shaking my tush around, in spandex pants, and I didn't even have any lines. I didn't have to pick up girls; they would just be right there in your face. And I was a bad boy. I drank and did a little drugs, So I was cross addicted, but for some reason, these girls wanted a project. They needed a project. I know I can. It's like they think they're Pygmalion. And I was like this smashed Eliza Doolittle.
Ew! I gotta get on stage, you see.
Oh! But Nixon, that whole thing is I didn't have to go there. And so, let's see, cut to a million years in the future. To this very day in the Nixon library, on a complete loop, is all the shit that I did as Nixon on Futurama.
Really?
His library.
Well, they're redoing the whole library.
That's fantastic.
Oh, they'll probably take it out because I've made reference to it a million times. I told what a bastard he was.
Oh, no, I mean, I'm sure they'll love it because they're trying to update it.
Can I tell you why I did that, though? Most people just are like, why? Or just, it's beautiful. I don't know. Maybe he did that or something. But no, he never did that. I saw the debate between him and John F. Kennedy in 60? Is it 60?
Jesus Christ, right? Yeah, it would have been,
On TV. It was the first televised presidential debate ever. So it was kind of significant. And they had these close-ups of Nixon, like as close as they could
Sweating,
get. You could see his
like,
pores
God.
opening and closing,
Yeah.
letting little fluid
Yeah,
out,
it
and
was
the
terrible.
hairs that are inside of them. Yeah, it's like Ren and Stimpy gross close-up oil paintings of like his tooth, or So anyway, here he is, and he's like, I don't see why America can't be. And while it was going on, he was sweating, and his 5 o'clock shadow was coming in at like 2:15, and he was like, I started to look at him, and I said to my Mom, he looks like he's gonna turn into a werewolf. And so I sat there, it's like Larry Talbot, whatever you do, no matter what you hear, keep the door locked. Why do you sound like a Southwest Indian Mexican?
I think it was a thing back then. It's like it was good to sound like you had crackers or cotton in your mouth somehow. I don't know why.
Yeah, well,
People pay more
Winston
attention.
Churchill,
Yeah, and
Alfred Hitchcock. I didn't know he was a role model.
Yes, I don't mean I have some sort of impediment.
Yeah.
Right.
We now get to the annoyance that interrupts all this art with what they call the commercial.
Yeah, I guess that made you more important than you were.
Yeah.
You talk like a hamster.
Yeah, mush mouth. Yeah.
But I mean, there it was playing in the museum, and
That's great.
That's amazing.
but I mean, I did that because he really truly looked like he was gonna break out into lycanthropy. What do you call it?
You got it.
Yeah, Lucan. He was very Lucan towards the end of the debate, and I just thought he was, my fellow Americans.
You would have
And
got
then-
more votes.
Then the writers on the show wondered why. They said, "Why do you
do that?
do that Aru thing?" And he says, "Don't ever stop
Don't not
because
do
we
it."
love it,
Right.
and we're looking for ways to just put it in everywhere."
Writing it
But
in.
they also followed suit with their version of Agnew, who had no head but could
Yeah.
still go. "Arr!"
One of my
know.
favorite Futurama bits, the headless body of Agnew, which is just, I think it's brilliant.
It is. It is. There was so much that you could comment on in that show. It was everything and anything I ever dreamed of being part of on every level. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, somebody said, "What's it like, to just like hear your voice coming out of everywhere on TV and radios?" And I said, "It's surreal." And the problem with it is, I have to pretend it wasn't me that did it. Otherwise, I'll rip myself to shreds
Yeah.
with self-critique.
Yeah.
If I hear it, it's like a lot of times I don't go back and listen to stuff that I did.
Yeah.
If it's like radio interviews or even this, it's like I don't revisit it that willingly because I'll, what it is? I got a heart and a soul, see? And
When a
if I
man-
say stuff that is just like makes me get the douche chills. It's like, why did you say that? I can't stand it.
Yeah.
And
I can understand
I would have done it like this, or I would have said that. It never clicks off. You have to just live with it, and you compartmentalize. You pretend you had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And the worst part is when you don't even have say over which edit or which take they're going to use.
Yes.
Like, even if you did a great job or think you did, you're like, why'd they use that take? Damn it.
Well, that's the people that just have something in them that you drive yourself to become what you think is a superlative and nothing less. You won't settle for anything less in yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just can't let that go.
A lot of history all through this territory. My family made it as far as the Ohio River and just quit. And chickened out. A bear attacked one of my ancestors, and and that stopped. That would stop you. Let's face it. Made us turn back for some more grits and some more mini balls and things like that. And that's what my grandfather told me. They just quit there. Didn't get as far as St. Louis as this bear attacked the wagon, and everybody went, let's quit. And so they went back in. Every time I see a bear, I quit, I saw Smokey the Bear one time light a forest fire. That was the wildest thing ever. Yeah, I'm Smokey the Bear. And the whole thing went up. Didn't have a scout hat on either, but he was in the nude. You always, they clean it up for the kids on television, put them in suits. Boy, I'm telling you, if you see one of them in suits in the Yellowstone, look out.
I met Al Lewis, Grandpa Munster.
Yeah.
Met him a long, long time ago, and I've had dinner with him. I hung out with him and everything.
I think I have a menu from his original restaurant.
Grandpa's Ristorante.
You got it in New
Yeah,
York.
yeah. Say it right if you're gonna say it.
Ristorante.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not pasta, miss. But I was in his restaurant one time, and he was there, and I was eating, and it was delicious. There was only a few people in there. There was like a young couple with their little daughter, and there were a couple of biddies from like the Midwest, and they're just wrapping up, and they go, "We just wanted to say thank you. This meal was so great, and we're gonna." And he's like, "Yeah." And they're on their way out, and then they keep ramping up. It's like, okay, yeah. Goodbye now. Thank you. And it's like, and we're gonna, and blah blah blah. She kept like augmenting, ramping up again, like someone does to you on the phone. They can't hear you squirming, trying to say goodbye.
I'm trying to wrap it up.
Yeah, trying to wrap it up.
And then there's
somebody ramps up again. So these women were sort of very, they didn't mean to. They had hearts of gold. I'm sure the both of them. But he's going, yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you. And it's like, bye. Door closes and he goes, drop dead. He was very sardonic, but he had a heart of gold himself. That whole exterior was just what you think it was for.
Sure.
Probably protect his own sensitivity.
Oh, yeah.
But he told me he never watched the Munsters.
Really?
He said he never looked back and watched the Munsters. Besides, it wasn't out of vanity or he was just too afraid to see it and hear it. He went on to become an NBA talent scout right around that time.
That's interesting.
And he discovered little Lou Alcindor.
Oh my God.
What?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Wow. Yeah.
He is an NBA talent scout.
I didn't know that. That's incredible.
Crazy.
I know, and he was of height to play basketball. He always looked like this little...
Yeah.
Well, no, that was just him
Owl.
next to...
Fucking Fred Gwynn.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Al was a 6-footer.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I said, Grandpa, what's the secret of life? He was about 94. What's the secret of life? If anybody knows, you do. And he goes, yeah. Well, and he says, you gotta do what you love and love what you do. Yeah. He's laughing, and I just learned so much from guys like that. I mean, to me, they're like these missing wonders of the world. They're the missing link to, like, our past in show business and comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate that I don't have a link to vaudeville. That I don't have any direct link to vaudeville.
In what way?
To interview. Like somebody I could plop down. There are a couple 100-year-old guys who might have an idea what the fuck I'm talking about, But
I know, but anybody who participated, it's got to be long gone.
Of course,
Right.
I know. But
I mean,
I want something with somebody's son, somebody's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
What's that
Like
guy's name?
Freddie Jessel.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, or Harpo's son.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
adopted. He doesn't count. That's a joke. I'm kidding.
No, they weren't all adopted.
Loco
weren't they?
Marx.
No, they weren't all. I don't think. Loco Marx.
Yeah, there was so many Marx brothers you don't even know about. Gummo,
Gummo
Yep.
and Zeppo. Those were the.
Zappo.
Yeah.
There
Did
might have
Gummo
been
appear in
another one
anything?
like
Just on the stage, right? Gummo was just on the stage.
Yeah,
Correct?
I don't even think Gummo did much on the
Zeppo's
stage.
No, I think he left way before they ever had a career. A
Yeah,
movie
Zeppo
career, right?
was in the first movies.
Sure,
but then
sure,
That's
sure.
when they were the four Marx.
Yeah, but
brothers.
you know, it's like a couple of the apples fell real far from the original tree. You know, not all of them land right in that orchard. Some of them do a cartoon turn in
Yeah.
midair. You know, fall into another orchard.
Yeah, fall on the back of a turtle and go off somewhere.
But those three drove everybody nuts.
Oh, they made it.
And it was like their little private playground,
Yeah.
batting people around like toy mice when they were boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Makes
their
sense.
mom encouraged it.
Oh, yeah. And part Margaret Dumont had a restraining order against them because they used to go to her house and just like do donuts on her lawn or move things around. So she was like,
You might have to explain donuts.
Yeah, exactly.
A donut is when you get a car and you just decide to keep your foot on the brake and all the way down on the gas and let it go and turn the
it
wheel.
all the way to the right or the left.
Circles.
And I'm going to pollute the air and ruin my tires. Yeah, you
That's
got
hilarious.
it. So yeah, they used to do it on her lawn.
Wow.
Apparently. Yeah.
Why though?
I don't know.
Because you just said it. Because they were sons of bitches. Apparently, they used to show up to like they would show up on set 2 hours late. You know, like
Of
Groucho
course.
would show up first. It'd be 2 hours, or he would show up 2 hours late.
God.
Yeah.
Then they would wait another 45 minutes. Then Harpo would show up. Then 45 minutes later, they get tired of waiting for Chico, and the first two would leave. Then Chico would show up.
Yes.
So it'd be half a day before anybody was actually all together to shoot anything.
Smelling like sex and
Right,
God knows what
and
else.
gambling. 'cause
Funk.
That's,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
It's like-
yeah.
Three different kinds of perfume.
Oh, 100%.
Well, that's what Al Lewis told me about Joe E. Ross. Did you ever read about him?
No,
Oh,
I only
God.
know a little bit about him.
There's a website, and you gotta find it. It's called it's like he was the biggest slob
Really?
in the world, and and it's something to do with that. But I wish I had the name so you could just look at it, read about this guy. And I asked Al Lewis. I said, "Hey Al, you know, innocently because I just didn't know what was Joe E. Ross like. He was Gunther Tootie on Car 54,
Yeah.
which is like a brilliant
Sure.
show.
And he was on Bilko.
And he was on Bilko. Both Nat Hiken scripts.
Yeah.
And Al Lewis told me there was nothing like a Nat Hiken script. Let me tell you. Oh yeah. And I said, what was Joey Ross like? And he said, just as dumb as he looked. And I'm dying because I know exactly. Ooh. Because he couldn't remember his lines.
Yeah.
He drove Nat Hiken to a heart attack. That's what it says in the article.
Oh,
that,
really?
that he tried so hard and he wrote all these beautiful lines and Joey Ross
couldn't
get through it. So he had this like someone stuck him in the ass with a pin look on his face all the time, like ooh. And of course it worked better than Hiken could have ever dreamed.
Of course.
But the guy was so hands-on. This was his baby. So was Bilko, and Joey Ross was like a slob, and he'd have hookers in the dressing room. He married the 8th hooker. And I said, what was he like, Al? And he goes, he married hookers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he didn't even tell me the half of it. I only got like so far with him, and I read this article, and I was like going, oh my God.
That's incredible.
Oh my God. Like, I know I'm supposed to make this about probably me or something, but
No, this is the good stuff.
This is good. Yeah, we've talked about Jonathan Winters plenty.
what's your name?
Fry, I guess.
No, I don't know who I am, but I just read this article, so I'm so like in the moment. Something that happened last night, and it said that one thing that almost killed everybody was that they were on the set. The sponsors wanted to visit the set. You know, they were all excited. They got the show and everything.
God.
And they stopped by to see Joey Ross. And the door was a little bit open, and someone came in, and they said all you could hear was screaming in the hallway and people like getting out of there as fast as they could. He was masturbating.
Oh shit.
The sponsor. I mean, that's what you live and die by. People jump off buildings over stuff like that.
Oh.
God.
Was it good for me?
Oh wow!
Oh,
I love love those stories.
Jesus Christ.
But you know, that's the junk that's the grist for the mill.
It is, and like unfortunately, and here's like the sad part: is like that's great Hollywood lore.
Yes.
But like, where are all the great stories about Sid Caesar and your shows? and
There's
stuff
plenty.
like that? And there are great. But thank God. Oh, my Calypso players.
Wait. So that was a dud. That bit just lied in the ditch and died.
I didn't even get you
Roll.
saying. I paused it before you did the funny voice.
Yes.
Unfortunately, so
What's the matter with you? You're not supposed to keep everything.
it's none of my
Always-
business. What if it was? What if somebody
you,
had
uptight?
died? I don't know.
What are you uptight? Are you an alcoholic ex-nun or something?
I am.
No issues.
I'm as OCD as we were talking about earlier. I am. 100%.
No, I know.
was-
It's just you didn't want to screw up your product and
Yeah. Well, no, I don't.
indulging
care. I
me.
don't
It's
care
like,
about
hey
this.
man, he might throw a gutter ball. You know, I gotta watch out for him. I don't even know him.
Worried about ruining this. You invited me.
You know, there's a real quick bit on here, and I don't mean to derail us. Actually,
No, actually, it's not because
I know.
It's
I'm
more like-
re-railing.
It's
I'm-
re-railing.
Um,
Exactly.
There is one bit, his voice, where he's doing it would be an offensive bit, but it's not because he's making fun of movies, where he does his native chief, and it sounds exactly like every Frank Welker old man voice that I've ever heard, and it really makes me wonder if, I just wonder if that could just be Frank Welker's natural thing that he does, but just coming from that bit, that coming from the back of the throat.
everything comes from somewhere.
Sure.
Everything,
But it sounds
including
so much like it, it just
Jonathan
shocked me.
Winters. He was exposed to that somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he says it. I mean, almost everything he bites off of, he's like, "Oh, it's like so and so, or
Yeah.
this guy, or
Yeah,
this
yeah.
person," and he does this weird hybrid. And
Cultural
Yeah.
references but he put it in his own blender, and so it's like there's nothing more unfunny than like an impressionist doing dead-on impressions
Right.
with no invention.
yeah,
You know, or Jack Nicholson, buying corn in a grocery store. It might sound something like this. And it's like, prepare for all the oxygen to be sucked out of the room.
Yeah,
And impressions. I mean, give me one Beatrice Arthur for every Christopher Walken. Give me,
Oh, God, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Walter, I'm gonna wrap my legs around your head like a cheap turban. Ma Blanche.
We had her on Futurama.
Did you?
She was the
Oh, that's right. She was the
femputer.
Oh,
femputer.
holy shit! Right,
Yeah.
duh.
She was with us.
Oh God.
Fucking fan.
And
Were
she
in the
did.
room?
She did a piece of acting that brought tears to my eyes, with one word. That's how good Miss Beatrice Arthur was.
Yeah.
She was the femputer, and they exposed her for what she was, and why did she do all these things to everybody, for what end? And she looked like the machine looked like it was going to cry. It probably had two like diodes or things that looked sort of like eyes, and she looked up and went, why? Like she was going to cry.
I remember that.
And then she snapped and turned on them, but it was so heartfelt.
Yeah.
It was just it rang true with me.
She's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm real sensitive to that stuff.
Sure.
Great acting and
I mean, B. Arthur, Jesus Christ.
That's fucking
So
fantastic.
funny. I mean, like even like the little, you can talk about Golden Girls. You can go back earlier.
Sure.
Even her stupid bit in the History of the World Part
Oh
One.
yeah, right.
Like
It's
it's
great in
great. And it's just so perfectly her. And like in Mame,
Oh,
she's better than
my
Lucille
favorite.
Ball.
My
Like,
favorite.
she's
Oh,
the
yeah,
best
yeah,
thing
yeah.
in it.
Shit.
She's just amazing. She could do anything. I mean, like her sense of humor was so specific and so evolved and dead on.
yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
Is amazing.
Did Futurama? I have to imagine it facilitated you meeting some of your heroes.
Yeah,
Or am I wrong? Am I on crack for imagining?
Well, Pam Anderson.
You know what? And we're done.
No, you know what? No, I had to turn that into something because everybody, even the geek guys, were like losing.
Especially the geek guys.
Yeah, but like,
Oh
hi,
my God.
hi. And when she came to do the show, we're in the recording studio, and I'm like looking around. There's all this like ruckus going on. It's like,
Miss Anderson just came in the front door. Swordfish the land shark. This is, Miss Anderson is about to enter the recording studio.
and okay, pomp and circumstance. And she didn't walk in imperious or anything
Sure.
like you're supposed to kiss her ring or genuflect or avert your eyes. She sits down right next to me, and nobody was saying anything. And I just looked at her and I said, Miss Anderson, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's this tape going around. And everybody's looking at me like,
what is he doing?
what do you got, Tourette's? You can't. You have to say something always. But the thing is she cracked up laughing.
How could she not?
Of course she did.
She
Cracked up
knows.
laughing. She was married to rocker Tommy Lee.
come on.
Otherwise, see, that separates him from every other Tommy Lee in the phone book. Rocker Tommy.
Tommy.
It's the obligatory, positive, instant identification of who or what the hell he is.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, you had to say, like, rocker Tommy Lee. Otherwise, you're like, that nice Asian boy who lives down the street, Tom Lee, right?
Yeah.
Rays. They're so nice.
No, the other guy that looks like the Tabasco devil.
Oh, rocker Tommy Lee.
Yeah,
Oh,
all rockers
yeah.
have that
Right, the one
picture,
with
and
the
they
9-inch
bring it to
penis.
the
Yes.
they bring it to the barber here, and they show him a picture of the Tabasco devil.
Right.
I want this
I want
and
that.
nothing less,
Yeah.
or I will beat you senseless
I
with
want
my
as many
drumstick.
patches of skin in the beard as
But
you
it's
can
that
possibly.
cheesy pirate look, you know.
God.
Nothing says party like the cheeso pirate look. Captain Morgan.
That's the best.
Yeah, bring a picture of Captain Morgan to the beautician or your makeup artist, you know.
What a great thing to say to her, man. I would have loved
That's
to have done that.
fantastic.
Just for her to start laughing and go, it's like, so you know this Kim Kardashian then, huh? You heard
Yeah,
of her?
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I think she'd probably be really big. I don't know. Who knows nowadays?
Drew Barrymore
Mm-hmm.
came in to do Olive, the Other Reindeer. That was a Matt Groening production.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Joe Pants.
Of
course.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's good.
You know, I was talking to him about getting divorced, and he says, he's incensed, and he goes, Billy, stay married. Stay married. You can do whatever you want. You know, but in other words, from personal experience, he probably got wiped out of pocket maybe a few times.
Well, that's why I was doing I did a pilot reading a number of months ago. That's something that John Cleese had helped write, and all the people who were working on it.
All right,
were
all right,
like,
all right,
oh,
fuck you.
Right, so John Cleese. Well, I wish I could have met him too.
Yeah.
That would have been neat. But they were just like, oh, John Cleese is working on a pilot, and of course, like the three other guys in the group were like, yeah, well, he's getting divorced again, so he needs to make some money. Just like I was like, oh, so every time I see him doing something new, it's like, yeah, he's getting divorced.
Well, look at
All right. That's what it
Shatner,
is.
you know, doing game shows and promise margarine commercials. I
And orbits.
promise to eat promise margarine. You know, everybody's gotta wear the dog suit. You know, at some point I did. Yeah, when I worked in radio, they said we gotta have our mascot go down to the record store and
you
promote
literally-
the station, and it's like they got this flea bitten dog suit, and I said, all right, you know, and I go in and you gotta wear the dog suit.
You gotta do
I'm
it.
sorry, it's very hard to avoid that. Hey, as I look down, I noticed that I'm having nipple erections.
A little cold?
Well,
Would you like me to turn it off?
no, throw another log in the air conditioner. I'm an all-the-way guy, you know? I don't go halfway. I want it to the extreme.
We're gonna cut glass with nipples later on.
You can stare at those two things all you want, and you're not going to see any milk or any semblance of it. Only a dream until now. Milk. It's easier to get to than some other appendages. Did I say that?
No.
I'm
no.
so.
I think you
I'm
imagined
just.
that.
I deserve to be just keel-hauled
No, stop. I
by
just found out-
Tommy Lee the pirate.
I just found out what that was.
What?
I didn't
Wait,
realize what
is it?
keelhaul was.
I
You know,
don't
like
think I
it's
wanna
one of
know.
those things. Like as you know, an American. I live in a city. Like I
Yep.
grew up in New York. It's
Yeah.
like you can make a nautical or a farm term, and I'm like, that's cute. What is that? Something with ducks? I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
you
keelhaul.
know what it is.
And I don't know what it is.
Well,
And
they
it is
rope
the
you
most-
by the foot. You're
and-
you're attached. You're tethered, and they push you off the
the
front,
front
of the boat.
You get one guy on each side, and they run you along the bottom, along all the barnacles and everything.
hard way.
Until you come up the back.
And if you live, they would haul you back.
They do you
and then
again.
try it again because maybe your number was going to be up this time.
Couldn't believe it.
Whoa.
I'm like, that is terrible.
See, that's the thing. We're doing the right thing now by explaining what all this shit means.
It's
Yep.
education.
Yeah, because I mean, the older I got, if I was with like a younger girl or something, I always felt like a curator in a museum. You know, like I'd always have to preface everything I said was, You know, a long time ago, like before you were born, there used to be this group, you know, and they were real cool, and I dug them, man. You know, and I'm not supposed to know. Well, at the time, it was Limp Bizkit. You ever listen to Limp Bizkit? I go, I regret that I have not. You know.
No.
It's fine.
I mean, those guys, shit, I was already in and out of bands when those guys were sitting in their own shit. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's hard for me to have any holy reverence for anybody.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, except I do no good when I see it, like in young people.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that aren't the fakers. We
Yeah.
go back to that theme of, like, you know, a lot of people don't know the difference.
Sure.
But geez, I mean, every now and then you'll see an old soul pop up.
Yeah,
Like
there's-
Amy Winehouse.
Right. You get to see younger people.
I
who are
said,
just like-
how does she have this wisdom and in her voice and all these years in her voice? Because it's the real deal.
It's like
you know,
Adele, same thing. First time I heard her, I was like, "Is this some
Now-
African
now
American
you
woman from Chicago? Where's she from?"
yeah, but when
Like,
you saw her, you didn't say anything about her weight or anything.
to be honest with you, I was amazed. One, she wasn't from the United States, and two, that she
right.
wasn't black. Those
are the
two.
two
Okay.
things, dude.
I didn't
Those
even
are the real
look-
reasons why you
I
should
mean-
like somebody.
Well, I mean, like
Not
honestly,
not because they're not black,
Well,
but I mean, but a lot of guys
no one
would.
should like anyone if they're not black. It was
Well,
just
okay.
like,
Well, I'm part black. Wait, there it is.
There it is. There
I'm
we
a millionth black. As you can see this little mole here on my stomach, my distended stomach. No, I mean, she is incredible.
Yeah.
And the thing is there's a lot of guys that'll be like, you know, you fat pig.
Who
You know,
cares?
no, I
She's a
know, but
singer.
there are many guys that do
Oh,
that.
I know.
Oh, yeah, of
too
course there
many.
are. Yeah, yeah.
Especially like look on the internet. You want to talk about those horrible trolls and all those people making those dumbass comments.
Oh, yeah.
Like that is the worst.
Oh, yeah.
The
They're
worst.
garbage humans.
Well, they were born bored.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's their hell to live in. That's your last laugh over, you know, about
Yeah.
all these imbeciles, is that they're born bored. They just spend their whole life with their mouth hanging open, waiting for the next big thing that they can denigrate.
Keep in mind that I haven't planted anybody out there, any magician, you know, that kind of stuff. There might not be any message at all, or certainly any payoff, but it'll be live. This is, you know, back east we have what we call the Ivy Leaguer. I'm sure you see him. I wear Ivy League suits. I also have some Robert Hall pants. I have a Saks overcoat, Abercrombie and Fitch tie, and so I try to, you know, split it up a little bit for everybody. But this Ivy Leaguer, I don't know exactly where he comes from. He's a strange breed. Whether he was born, light failed. It's all over, friends. The sun went out. Not too far from Grace Cathedral, am I? Well, I'll cut across and say a few before I go. Boy, those Episcopalians need help, and I'm one of them. You know what that is, an Episcopalian? That's a Catholic that flunked his Latin. But it's a minority group. Don't knock it too hard, you know.
It's crazy that I would ever have, and I do it a lot, and I probably annoy my friends online, but like I speak out a lot about people who are dickheads to people because they've got as much privilege as you can possibly have, and then the internet compounds that privilege.
Right.
You know, and it's just fucking upsetting when it's just like there's talent, there's people.
Yeah, but the thing that bothers me is I grew up, and I was a young man, and I was, you know, I experienced the feminist movement at its beginnings. And I actually, before I graduated from high school, and this is the truth, I'm not, you know, wearing my heart on my sleeve or be a feminist hustler or anything like that, but I read The Female Eunuch by Germaine Greer. I read The Women's Room by Marilyn French. These were all feminists that were writing, and they were angry. They were pissed off. The only one who wasn't was Germaine Greer. She loved men, but she felt that they were in sore need of rehabilitation.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, hey, you know what? That means that you think there's hope.
Sure.
You know, and so I read all these things because I wanted to understand why when I was raised old school. I'm a gentleman. I was raised by a woman. I'm evolved. I get it. I leave the seat down. You know, the works.
Yep.
You know, I would stand if a woman entered the room at a table in a dining room, or if I would stand if she had to leave for a minute.
Sure.
You know, and I would hold the doors. And, you know, it's good for me. It's a good thing for me that I don't look like Meatloaf. I mean, I'm 63 years
Are
old.
you talking about the food or the singer?
Well, he was one on the same.
I know, it's close. One had
Very,
slightly
very
more hair.
Yeah.
Well, Meatloaf is a product of itself. I think. But you know, I would hold the doors and I would be going out with a young girl. What I'm saying is that not when I was 63. I'm 63 now, but like 10, 15 years ago, I could still go out with young girls, but they were hollow victories. You know what I mean? And it wasn't because I told them who I was or what I did, you know, that was just like, does that even really matter? So I hold the door and the girl would be there in shock, like looking at me suspiciously, like, what are you doing? I said, I'm holding the door for you. Why? You know? And then it occurred to me that most young guys are into this whole misogyny thing just to rub it in.
Yeah.
You know, and I was appalled. So, you know, that shit doesn't play with me. It never did.
Yeah.
You know, and so now it's really funny to do rape jokes and everything. And it's like, you know, I just say, I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
That's one of my favorite memes, actually. That
It
line,
actually is, yeah.
It's Farnsworth and that one, and all you have to do is they'll put up any horrible atrocity,
Yep.
one picture of it, and then put that one at the bottom.
That is.
And I go, yep,
It works every
you
time.
got it.
Yeah,
Well
but,
done.
you know, I mean, but I do know the good stuff when I see it.
Yeah.
Let's see. We can talk about new stuff. Taylor
Yes.
Swift,
Yeah.
Katy Perry.
Yeah.
I was a Veronica guy. You know, like what? When I read Archie
Betty and
comics,
Veronica,
I was a
more
Veronica guy. Number one, I love trouble.
Yeah.
Yep, sure.
You know, Taylor Swift is like secret, covert trouble, like the evil little girl that'll pee in your plants, you know, after you go to sleep. You know. But Katy Perry is feral.
Yeah.
She's feral. You know, got
Yeah.
balls. And she's really great. I think she's brilliant. That's the stuff that I think Taylor Swift is very super clever and great too.
Yeah, she's got a lot going on.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, they're throwbacks.
Yeah.
You know, the old soul thing. 'Cause where did you get this from? Coming up in the day and age you did with all the cultural
Right.
references that you were swimming in
Yeah.
of now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of comedy or shows, is there something that sticks out to you in the same way?
Nowadays,
Yeah.
you know, this may or may not break your heart, but I stopped watching TV in the 80s.
No, it's
A
probably
lot
a
of
smart
people
thing.
did.
It's
No,
really
I seriously,
okay.
I did. Number one, I was a coke addict, and I didn't have a TV.
Well, there you go.
But if you look way high up here, it's still up there in the corner of the sinuses somewhere. Dad's iron lung. Had he lived. Oh, Dad. You know, but
But you are a music guy.
I'm
so
trying to think what's funny. Key and Peele.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I love them.
Man, I mean, it's like, it's Little Britain, one more.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's 11.
Yeah.
I mean, not to be like judgmental or,
Sure.
or like snooty about it. No, Key and Peele. I mean, it's just like, thank God, where do these people come from?
I
Usually
know.
Britain.
Yeah.
Right.
You know why? Because it's not about crassness over
Well,
there.
they do have. I mean, like they do have their fair amount of like their toilet humor, but I don't
Yes.
think they need to rely on it or
But-
feel they need to rely
but I
on it
mean,
as much as American
it
audiences
seems
do.
victimless
Yeah.
for the most
Sure.
part.
Sure. Yeah.
I always love that stuff.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a mean bad mouther, you know, but I try to keep a lid on it.
Yeah,
Like
no,
Courtney Love everywhere. Courtney Love in my face and everything else that. I want that in my face as much as I want a dirty, soiled diaper. Which is what she looks like. And I think she like had people deliberately make her look like that. Yeah. Sorry about that, Courtney.
That's all right.
I really do enjoy the fact that your first album was written entirely by what's his name with the hole in his head.
That's where they got the name.
Kurt
for the band.
Kaboom.
Apparently, the new documentary about him is supposed to be quite good.
Which one?
Really?
There's two of them out. So which one?
Oh,
One's called "Soaked in Bleach," which is actually not the lyric. By the way.
No, the other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
that one.
yeah,
The
yeah.
other
The
one.
other
It's
one,
supposed
I
to
know.
be really good, and
Uh-huh.
it's culminating a lot of stuff, and it's not nice to anybody.
Did
Really?
they ever
It's
show him
supposed to be
writing
very
doll
objective.
parts? You know.
Yeah. It apparently got a little.
How
bit
do I?
of
How would I know that? How do I know that? Why do I even know that?
I don't know.
Because
Can you
it's
imagine?
good to know.
Yeah,
You guys will appreciate this because you think. I believe you think like this. Is there's always you always grow old no matter what you try to do. And in Futurama, it's Farnsworth said, gravity makes chumps of us all. And it's true. But you're going to be in a nursing home or assisted living someday. It's just a fact of life.
As long as it's got a
and
high
every-
roof, I'll be good.
And yeah,
You know.
well, and every Thursday night, it's like piano night. And they have someone come in and play that generation's favorite song.
Oh,
So it's
God.
like, pack
Oh,
up
don't
your
make me think of
troubles
this.
in your old kit bag and smile. Darn ya, smile.
Boom, boom.
That's what they would
Now
play,
you're
and
making
everybody
me
would
think, oh.
relive it and come
Right.
to life.
Sure.
I mean, I said this generation of self-pitying
We're
white
fucked.
people, the emo, types, or it's like these guys that sing about I want to be dead and all this, It's like, then why don't you just invent crack-addicted mother, jokes or songs that have about babies being born in a dumpster, and you're crying. About what? You even had to do black lipstick on your lower lip. I mean, how affected is that? It's like the white guy that comes from money with his head in his hand, looking downward. Should I kill myself today or this evening? And so I was thinking about all this stuff, and there's so many followers. They're going to be old too, all the kids that listen to that stuff. And they're going to be in the nursing home on piano night, and some old guy's going to come in and pull out the songbook. He's going to be like, I am in pain. Sing. Somebody kill me. Come on. Sing. And they're all sitting there. I am doll parts.
I think Eddie Murphy said that once in his bit. And you're just like, what's going to happen when our generation gets old and we're all sitting around in the nursing home reminiscing, going oh man, your mother could sure do the butt. It's like
Dougie.
yeah, exactly.
You know what? I
I
never heard that bit, but that's what I kept thinking about. It's that's what happens to new music.
Yep.
It's
It becomes
eventually-
ancient music, and yet there are still people that was their frame of reference.
Yeah,
that
or-
was their touchstone.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
wouldn't that be one of the things to put Kurt Cobain over the edge? You think you're writing something that's personal and emotive and can connect with somebody, and all of a sudden you get in the elevator at the record company, and there's a Muzak version of the thing that you wrote,
Yeah.
and you got to listen to it going all the way up, going,
No.
really, this is what we went with here, okay.
I'm worried I'm going to get played out by Chumbawamba. I'm really worried that on my last breath that
Played
shit's going
out?
to be playing in the background.
It'll be totally worth it.
Yeah.
I get.
Well, what do you want? What do you want played at your
Fuck! I'm
cremation
seriously
or your
just thinking
funeral?
about that.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
I think about it all the time.
Honestly,
Many rivers to cross. I know it's really stereotypical, but I love Jamaican music, and I think it's gorgeous.
I'm half tempted to
That's-
make it
but
music
that's
or
not
comedy.
insane.
It's
No.
not insane. No.
I'm trying to think of something.
Oh, like something fun.
For me, I think it
just
would be
for
comedy, though.
For me, the Emperor's theme.
Oh,
From
yeah,
Star
yeah.
Wars, just looped over and over again until all the flames have died down.
I want a
Isn't that a
comedy
little
Too on the
imperious
nose?
and pompous? And
Probably.
I want a comedy song,
Yeah.
but a good
I
comedy
want to
song,
have. You know what I
I
want?
feel like.
You could just, if you can find this, I suggest you just put it on this podcast.
Okay.
It's the Portsmouth Sinfonia
Okay.
version of also Sprach the Sistra.
Uh-huh.
Where they all switch instruments?
Yeah, they're
I've heard
perfectly
that.
capable musicians.
Okay.
But they're
playing other
They're
instruments.
playing sheet music with other people's instruments.
Everybody in the orchestra went to another seat
Holy
on something
shit.
that they were at least knew how to play, and they play it. And that's so funny because I directed the Inspector General.
You did?
And my opening bit was they were all in tableau, frozen, everybody in the end tableau at the beginning of the thing, and then we had the curtain slowly rise to that piece. So I went. dong, 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 and the curtain is rising so slowly you can kind of see what's
And
happening.
the clarinet
and it
is
comes
like
in, it's all off.
It's like the Little Rascals, this frantic little
Right.
clarinet that was catching up with them
Yeah.
as they were going downhill. It's like,
Holy shit.
It is brilliant piece of music,
That's so
and it took
good.
I took the whole piece to raise the curtain, and I did that thing with like raise it a little bit, and then a little bit more, then bring it down
boy,
a little bit, then back up.
that's great that you did that.
It was, and the
fantastic.
audience loved it. They loved the piece of music and just the visual that went
That's
with
the
it.
stuff I
It was
live for.
great. It was so much. I love that piece.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to hear that. So that
so
needs to
my
go at the
frame
end.
of references is pretty much like the time that were the Wonder Years for me was kind of like when that album came out.
Yeah.
I saw Atlantis: The Lost Continent by George Pal. I went and saw The Time Machine like 4 times. Rod Taylor.
Yeah.
It was made in '60. I think it was released in '61.
Okay.
And
So good.
yeah, I mean, but that's the stuff that my head was filled with. And before I went to school, we talked about. Before I went to school, every morning they showed the Three Stooges. So I had no use or room for academia. I had a head full of this stuff. But you know what it was? It served me better in life than anything I learned in school, because anything I was forced to learn in grammar school, kindergarten, grade school, high school would have no practical application in the year 2015.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I might as well have never gone to school. I was right. I
Yeah.
I just wanted to listen to the Stooges to the point where I couldn't enjoy them anymore, so I began to look for stuff in the corners of the picture to obsess on, and it was Larry chewing up scenery, so the little that he said was just like sublime to me.
Yeah.
Be careful, Mo. You know, and just add, and then everybody could do Mo and Curly, but no one gave a damn about Larry. It's like,
Yeah.
hey Mo, there's too much tinsel on the tree. Which is where Stimson J. Cat came from.
And I was
Yeah.
actually, I remember seeing the first episode of Ren and Stimpy when they released it. I was in high school, and I was obsessed with any new cartoons, especially if they came out on Nick, because Nick was doing stuff that no one else was
Saturday
doing.
morning.
You got it.
I mean, not Saturday morning, Sunday mornings.
Right.
They want to do everything network television was not doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And me and my brother were 100% on board. We watched everything they ever did. And I remember when Ren and Stimpy came on the first time, we sat there, me and my brother, with our mouths agape. Like somebody
How
had-
old were you?
Oh, I must have been, I mean, it could have been like 15, maybe.
Oh, you
tops.
little Dickens, you.
What year
did
You
it
look
premiere?
okay to me.
Thank you.
I mean, you turned out like
80,
like
no,
somewhat
not 89.
normal.
What year did it premiere?
It was close to that.
Stimpy. 89, 90-ish? Am I on track?
90, 91.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I
that
was,
makes-
about
that's
15, 16.
perfect timing. That
Yeah,
makes
about
Yeah, I
15,
did. I
16.
started doing them in 91.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doug
And-
and Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'll remember seeing it, and I remember going to school the next day, like this, with my head looking in every direction, like, who saw it? Did you see it? Ren and
See, you know
Stimpy,
what that
did
is?
you see it?
That's that desperation that I had when I was a kid. I'd go
Yeah.
to school the next day and did you see
Exactly.
that thing on TV last night? And they go, no, I didn't. Let me do it for you. Let me show it.
And
And
that's what it
so
was.
you had to recreate it so that you could hang on to the dynamic, the thing that made you crazy. You wanted to share with
Yeah,
everybody.
And I was thrilled because there was one girl who had seen it, Kathy Yu. I'll never forget.
Yeah?
She had seen it, and the two of us, for about a half an hour before school even
I
started,
had her.
geeked out. And
I had
mean,
her.
Yeah, we were amazed. And I remember we were talking, and she was like, "I just love the voices," and I was like, "Yeah, it was so nice to hear Larry again." And she went, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, Three Stooges, Larry." And she
You
went,
picked right up on that?
That's awesome.
well, I mean, again, my dad was showing me Marx Brothers, Three Stooges, Abbott and Costello, W.C. Fields, Harry Langdon, Harold Lloyd, Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, since I was 3. So by the time I got to 16, my lexicon of like things that I could grab onto was bigger than most.
Didn't
other
that
kids.
serve you like a zillion times better than learning what the Piedmont was
But you-
and
I-
what
no,
is silt?
I still have no idea what any of that crap is.
Yeah, on my test was what is silt?
Yeah, thank you. No idea.
I can tell you 100% it served him because he's one of the funniest motherfuckers I've ever met.
Thank
He's the only person I can talk to about most of this shit.
Who?
About old comedy.
Him?
This motherfucker.
Yeah,
No, I got
Now
that.
you, I gotta
you
appreciate
was
it. Thank
definitely-
Christ.
Oh,
Good work.
oh, now we friends.
I was waiting just to find out if I
Oh,
actually
we
liked
friends
you.
now.
But no, it's the truth. Like that was the
Yeah,
stuff.
That's so good.
Stuff like that used to make me just sit there and just conjure stuff.
That album
You
cover
know, yeah, because I had my imagination. We're looking at
from another world.
From Another World with this, almost like a scream queen, except she I don't know. It's
got the
hypnotic,
stupid-
and there's the spiral on it and
Yeah.
everything. Stuff like that used
the
to make
bubble
me
helmet,
I used to go.
spaceman,
I used to go. My dream girl. You know. I was like, we were at a session once, me and Cree Summer Frank. She's a voiceover.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know who she is. And Jess Harnell, the great Jess Harnell.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there, and Cree's got a fashion magazine, European fashion magazine, until it's time to do something. I just kind of stay there because I'm paranoid that if I get caught with my pants down, I'll die.
Yeah.
Not ready.
Sure.
You know, but these guys are pros, you know. So she's reading this thing, and I look over, and it's a pull-out, like a fold-out page. And all I see is these Arabic made-up eyes with, like, a facial...
The veil.
The veil.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm fascinated. I'm instantly attracted to those things. And she pulls it down, and she's got these Mendy tattoos, and I was going, oh, wow, I don't even know if I know what that is. Those are those henna tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Indian,
Yeah. And then she's got a gun in her hand, pointing it at you.
Oh, fuck.
And I said, my dream girl. I love trouble. I guess I just do. I don't know.
It's like that great line from Annie Hall, where it's, when I was a kid, all the kids fell in love with Snow White. I instantly fell in love with the Wicked Queen.
Yes.
You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
100%.
that's, yeah.
Yes.
Danger,
When I saw
more
Black
fun.
Sunday in 1961. See, these are the references. I keep throwing out 62, 60,
Sure,
61, late
Yeah.
50s. I saw the movie Black Sunday,
Great book too.
which was a dubbed film. It was, I think it was Spanish.
Okay.
Was it?
Mario Bava,
Oh, that Black Sunday.
or was it Italian?
Oh my God, I don't
The
know.
one with Barbara Steele.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know, I'm sitting in the theater, and I'm having arousals for Barbara Steele. Not when she was like alive before she was put to death, but they had a mask that had all internal spikes that faced towards the face when
Right.
they put it
Put it
on your
on her.
face, and then they would take a hammer and and that would put to death a vampire. Well, she comes back, and she is stunningly beautiful with coal-rimmed eyes, and everything. And there's something so unearthly about her. I'm getting aroused. I'm not sure why, because maybe it was because it was dangerous. I was an abused kid, and so, I want repetition compulsion, especially from a beautiful woman. And I have to say it that way or I'll cry. No, really, it's tragic,
yeah.
but...
Sure.
But anyway, here she is, and then this doctor comes in, and he's just looking around, and he runs into her, and she's got him in her tractor beam. Suddenly there's nothing he can do. And I'm getting, like, really aroused, And all of a sudden, he pushes her and holds on to her, and she's all, like, dead-bodied, like rib cage and leather guts and
Just
and
decay.
everything. And I was basically going, why can't I meet that? Because I was so into monsters. I was turned off by people just because of what was going on.
Sure.
And monsters were like the thing that made me feel like I was alive inside. Feeling scared was better than feeling nothing.
Yeah.
So I hung my identity on all the things that made me crazy when I was a kid.
But I did. I flunked mathematics all the way through school. And that scene where you're a dummy, and I was surrounded by brilliant kids who wanted to skip 7 grades, and said,
Oh, we have to sit here for this?
And then they say, John Winters, go to the board, problem number 6. Well, my God, I didn't know the first one, let alone 6, And you go up there, eraser, and the chalk breaks, and then they go,
There's the dummy again.
boy. And one guy bugged me one day. He said,
Boy, how dumb can you be?
and I said, well, I'm going to cold cock you when I get out there. Recess time, I wrapped a Schwinn around him twice.
Robert Vaughn was my idol. I had no blueprint for design. I had no male role models. So to see this guy in a tuxedo and a gun and a gull-wing car and these beautiful European intercontinental women, I said that's kind of I wish I could be that. That's my guy. You know, I wish he was my dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, same reference points
Yeah.
from that time. And now they're making a new Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I know.
movie.
I saw that. I don't know what to think of that.
I mean, there's certain times where I was like, I know what the Man from
Right,
U.N.C.L.E. was,
yep,
even though I
sure.
wasn't a big fan because it was before my time,
Exactly
really. But
right.
I know what it is, and I've seen
It was the
some
coolest
episodes.
show of its time on television.
I'm just worrying, like, when you try to reboot something like that,
Yeah.
I mean, is a younger audience who they're obviously skewing it for even going to give a damn?
They'll give a damn if it's flashy enough, because to them it's brand
If
new.
it's flashy enough, yeah.
Is it,
brand
I
new,
mean,
that's
is it
the thing.
basically going to be like the American Kingsman? Is that what they're trying to do? Because
It
if they
looks
do
like
that,
that.
it might make a ton of money.
Sure, that's what it looks like
So,
too.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
I don't
Well, it's like the reboot of The Untouchables. I mean, same characters, but it was in no way like the
Like the
50s
show
TV
at
show, which
all.
I also used to love.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs in the world was written by Nelson Riddle, and it's the theme to The Untouchables.
Mm-hmm.
That big, you know, you can look at the album cover and they show these shadowy figure in the dark, big city looming, and these guys had hats on, and they were all like looking around, and you hear this big theme that portrays that, like, you know, there's a lot of dangerous dudes out there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they had no idea that in the future, all the little angry dudes that are on the internet and just roaming around out there, angry, or make those guys look like gentlemen.
Yeah, right.
That's the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean? They wouldn't
Yeah.
kill anybody if it didn't have anything to do with your business.
Right.
Yeah.
You know. And now it's like, you know, demonstrating once again that man is the only animal that kills for the sheer enjoyment of it, except the age group is lowered.
Yeah.
Right.
I sound so gloom and doom.
No, I think it's good.
I do have faith in a lot of things.
Sure. Well, it still sounds like it's coming out of
Yeah, when I
Fry,
see you
so
guys,
it's
I go,
very-
look at these guys, you know, it's like they're not sitting there with their thumb in their nose waiting for me to do everything. You know, you guys are live wires. You have intellectual curiosity.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, in this world, what else is there? You know.
No, but I appreciate it, you know?
Yeah.
I really do.
You know, I want to make sure I bring up, because I'm curious. Do you remember what the specific the fuck, my brain is just off. The Three Stooges, because I'm sorry, my brain's not working. The Three Stooges record. Do you remember what it was? Like, was it a song? Was it a bit? Like, had to have been songs, right?
It was, they were songs, they were mixed with little bits.
Yeah.
It was very,
Like a 45 or an LP? I'm sorry, you said it was one of those little, like, yellow
they made
ones,
those
right?
little
Yeah.
records,
Yeah.
and they came in a sleeve like a 45, except that it had a 33 and a third hole on it.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, it was like Mo, Larry, and Curly, probably in '61, as everything else I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And they would go into a studio, and it was this crappy little band, you know, a glockenspiel, a snare drum, and an organ or something.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I did a send-up of all those records once.
Really?
It's a record called Christmas Party with Eddie G.
I saw that listed somewhere the other day because I was looking to see if you'd done any comedy albums.
You should throw some of my version of 12 Days.
Okay.
Me and Eddie Gordetsky. Eddie G we were friends 30 years ago. We were two bums in radio, you know, dreaming about what it's like to be the man. What must it be like? You know, we were high as rats, sitting in back of the radio station on our break, and I said, what must it be like to be the guy? You know, and we're sitting there. Meanwhile, one of us knows because he's the guy. He produces almost every major comedy show on television
Jesus Christ.
with Chuck Lorre.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, he created Mom. That's his show.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if he solely created it, but Chuck was involved. But, I mean,
One of my
that's
students is
Eddie's
on it.
show.
Really?
Yeah, one of my students who I teach at the High School for the Arts, she's the youngest daughter on it.
Really?
Yep, you know, it's the 3 year generations.
Well, she knows Eddie.
Yep.
And Eddie always had a flair for the time-release joke.
Uh-huh.
He really did. It was like, you know, he would leave an answering machine message, and it would be like,
Hi there, please leave a message.
and whenever you got his phone, you heard that message. But what I didn't know is he changed it every day and said the same thing. And I didn't notice the little various differences because he had me. But only a certain type of person can think that way.
Of course, yeah.
You know, it was always he offered up a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of those guys. You know, he was just insanely funny, born with a funny bone in his head. But I mean, we were just like two guys in radio trying to rip it up, and we did some really, really cool things, which was in opposition to the wishes of the program directors and the myopic, you know, administratives. And you know, and I grew up to do what I did, but it was all because of the stuff that inspired us. You know, we used to listen to Eddie Lawrence records, you know, the old philosopher. Do you have any of that?
I don't.
It's that guy that would go, "Hiya, Bunky. You say you've been walking around," you know, and he tells this story about the sad and woe. He says, you know, well, you're waiting. You don't have no money for tinsel, so you're waiting around for Grandpa to sneeze on a tree. Is that what's troubling you, Bunky? And then there would be, da-da-da-da-da. He's like, well, lift your head up high. Keep that chin up. Keep it up. Keep it up. And go out there and take a flop on the ice and never give up. Boom, boom, that ship. It was a whole routine. And it was great. He's this crazy nut Eddie Lawrence used to do. He'd be doing the news or, you know, radio news, and then he'd say, and now it's time for the dog and cat report. And he would like say, and you dogs out there, you know who you are. You know, and it was like the surreal held the ultimate fascination for the both of us. We loved Supercar, the puppet show.
Oh,
seen
God,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, you ever
That
watch
one,
that?
no.
I've heard of it, yeah.
You gotta
I've
go
seen
watch
stills
it.
of
It's like that's surreal. Supercar. It was an English puppet show.
Okay.
It was Jerry Anderson, who did Fireball
Oh, okay.
X05, who
That's
did
what I figured.
Thunderbirds,
Okay.
who did Stingray.
All right.
Yeah.
All those creepy English puppet shows.
I mean, that stuff was more important to me than like passing any test, or you know, having a social life. Yeah, because what kind of back then comic books. I loved comic books, needless to say, and I had about 1.5 friends, and I had no common interest with just about any other guy anywhere. But I heard there was a kid on the other side of town that had comic books, and I didn't even know where he lived, and I found him. I was like a homing pigeon or a truffle pig. You know,
Just
there's
track
truffles
them
on the
down.
other side of the town. All I need to do is go within the area.
Smell cheap color ink.
Comic books. I knew it. And I remember his name. His name was... I shouldn't say his name. I don't know what happened to him.
I'm sure he's still into comics.
Probably.
I know I am.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I am, and I've lived to see the day where I was in comic books.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I even was drawn as myself in Mad Magazine when I was doing the Stern Show. They did a parody
Really?
on the Stern Show, and I see me with this puppet with the New York Yankees cap that I used to wear. One of their artists drew me. I was so flattered.
Yeah, of course.
I was so flattered. I mean,
Fuck
that
yeah.
stuff was like canon to me.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
That is
Yeah.
incredible. Be drawn in Mad Magazine.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
that
my
pretty much
sense
do
of
it.
humor was pretty much shaped on junk that I read in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like there was a beautiful panel cartoon by a guy named Dave Berg,
Yep.
and The Lighter
It's
Side.
the lighter
Oh,
side
yeah.
of, yeah.
Sure.
And so, you know, it talks about like, you know, a woman will spend hours in the mirror before she goes on a date, desperately trying to look sexy, and when some imbecile responds to the stimulus, it's like, you pig. Yeah. But basic truths of
This
life.
stuff is great.
And guys, you know, it says, you know, there's always a good name for a drunk. You know, like Jolly Old Ed. But it would always be Fat Old Fanny. Yeah. And that was a basic truth.
Yeah.
But it took Mad to like set you straight.
Yeah. It was so great.
That was an altar boy.
Okay.
I knew the mass in Latin. Go figure. You know, and then all of a sudden I said, you know what, I spent all this time following these stories when I could have become a scholar of the Brothers Grimm.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And the thing is it kills me. I probably know more about religion than most people. And the stuff that I hear come out of people representing God.
Oh, it's the worst. And again, it goes back, like, I was a religion major in college.
You were?
Oh, sure.
In
And,
what?
comparative religion. I was into everything. It's like, oh, what's this about? What's this about? What's the difference between this and this?
The
What are-
Hasidims.
Right. What are the
The
branch,
Sephardics.
the branch Davidians were big at that time.
Sephardic,
it's
so
one of the
good.
things in Waco. Yeah, Sephardic, so good. But yeah, with religion, it's just the most fun ever. And Carlin was one of the best people to talk about it as far as comedy was concerned. You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Just like, you know, like religion is nuts because you'll have this guy who's describing God, you know, and he does that. All right, first you got your all-powerful God there. All-powerful. He can
Yeah.
throw a boat right over a hedge. That's how strong he is. All right? First all-powerful you got. And he knows everything. You know, and like, you want this guy to be describing you? Really? No.
You know what? A real life situation, I was always questioning everything. Nothing made sense to me. That's why I was more attracted to fantasy and whimsy and, you know, picaresque, whatever, you know, meaning silly and playful. Because nothing made sense to me. I was in parochial school, and I got out and I was like going to the bathroom in one of the rooms and took a drink, you know, and there was real old oil paintings on the walls of these places. I mean, they were real old, and they were oils. Some of them might be probably worth a fortune if you could go dig them up today.
Sure.
But there was one of the Garden of Eden, and they showed the apple and they showed the serpent and Adam and Eve. And I'm looking at it and I'm studying it, and a nun happened to come by. She was older. Before I say this story, I better take a drink.
Billy West is taking a drink of water.
Yeah, the one at my feet fell over, but no matter. The cap was on it.
I filled the air properly there, right?
Oh, very
Is
nice.
that
Yes,
good?
well
Okay, thank you
done.
so
So,
much.
Yes.
anyway, she comes by and she's watching me stand. I'm just standing there looking at this thing, and she goes, "What's so interesting?" And I turn around. This painting. Yeah. What do you like about it? If you do like it, you know, real like come out with her dukes up,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh God.
And I said, "Well, I'm just fascinated by it." Yeah. Why? And I said, "Well, because there's some things that, you know, I mean, I know the story, and you know, God created Adam in his image and likeness, and he took 100 pounds of clay from the earth, and I felt stupid saying these things because I never said them back to anyone. It's like, you're supposed to take that and pound that into your little skull, and you
Yeah.
better remember that, buddy, because there's going to be a quiz." You know, and so I said, 100 pounds of clay. That's right. You know, and it's like, and then he fashioned it into man in his own image and likeness. That's right. And then he formed Eve God took a piece of Adam's rib, which became personified somehow. I didn't say that, somehow. You know, from the clay to, you know, prime. And she said, "Yes, that's right," and formed Eve. She said, so what's your point? And I said, "Why do they have belly buttons?" Woo! 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 The anger train coming at me. Woo! Woo! This angry tea kettle spewing and screaming.
Shit.
You know, and it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Because every painting I ever saw them, they got nice little,
Yeah.
not even the lousy ones that get pulled out by an impatient doctor. That's
Yeah,
like,
no, just nothing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful little innie. Isn't it nice?
Nope, makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's a great one. It's
And
one
this
of
might have
those
been
ones-
painted 300-400 years ago.
Yeah, you can just.
And
fall
they didn't
asleep.
even figure it out. But some stupid kid in Detroit going to parochial school, you know. Ooh, that kid. Nothing ever changes.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
You know, I gotta watch what I do, like in front of housekeepers and stuff, because if you piss them off, they'll write a book about it.
Nowadays, now you don't even need to do that.
No, but I
Set
mean,
up
it's
your
like-
camera in the corner and tape something.
I think of my housekeeper, you know, if I ever did anything wrong, the next thing you know, there'd be a book. There always is. And it would be called Oh, Mita Billy. Oh.
I like. How do you spell that?
You know,
Yeah.
there's probably
How it sounds.
it's got that well, it's not Castilian because there's no in it.
Exactly.
Okay, it's like through closed teeth. It's disapproval. Yeah, because I knew a Puerto Rican family, and one of the daughters was drinking a little too much coquito at Christmas time, and coquito is like heavy duty. And the mother's sitting there and she's watching somebody get like stewed, and she's just going, okay, okay. You know, it's just like I love that stuff. It's the stuff of life.
Oh yeah.
It's the rich buffet, you know,
That's the best.
of life, lingo,
Oh,
people's attitudes and everything. It served me well, you know. Like I said, why did I even bother going to school? You know, I did go 1 year at Berklee College of Music, but it wasn't even a college then, it was a school of music.
Oh, before it was even part of college. Wow.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was a school.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't wait to get out of there. I wanted to be playing music. I wanted to be on the road. You know, I didn't want to talk about it.
Sure.
But then look at that. I was smart there too, because all the people who make hit records, all the rappers, you know, they start out taking their award and they go, I like to thank God, and God is up there going, don't pin that shit on me. Don't thank me for that. I took that day off. I went fishing. I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't have anything to do with this.
Yeah, right. I can see it every year, you know. Oh, geez, it means I got to go to, you know, another galaxy or something and hang out with people that are intelligent. And you know, it's like they don't even know what a G clef is or a treble clef, and it's like that's the highest award you can win in music.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm glad I didn't waste any bullshit time at Berklee.
Right.
Yeah, and I went out and I made a living as a musician. You know, I wanted to be like the best guitar player in the world.
Sure.
Sang.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't have roadies. They just didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta do it all yourself.
No, this was like the mid to late 60s, early 70s. And you broke a string, you had to sit there. Either sit there like a fried egg till you figure out how to change it, or I would launch into voices and noises and all that stuff. And it became apparent to me that sometimes the people liked that better than they liked the music.
Yeah.
I mean, when they were applauding for us, they were applauding for the Rolling Stones or
Right.
Sure.
whoever was out there at the time, because we were doing covers.
Right.
But you added character by just.
But I
busting out
just
voices.
thought it was illegitimate compared to music. You know,
Sure.
that's how clueless I was.
Yeah.
I mean,
It makes sense.
I had no idea that was something that was viable,
Right.
and that I would actually go on in life to make a living at it.
Yeah.
I didn't go to be famous. I didn't go to be rich. I never thought for a million years that you could ever achieve that.
Yeah.
I was just bursting to bring something to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And all of it is a result of the albums we're talking about, and the TV shows, and
Is there, if you
I
were...
consider myself extremely fortunate. You talk to anybody, Tom Kenny, we talk about this all the time, how grateful, how much gratitude we have, because the odds of this are 1 billion to 1, and I know it.
Yeah.
And that we're able to continue working, and that I haven't had a break from working for 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, and there's not a lot of people that can say that. That's why all these schlub celebrities want to do what I do for a living.
Of course.
You know, because they want to keep being relevant.
Right.
And so they have no problem with their anemic voices, you know, being used for cartoons. They're just who and exactly what they are. I wish I had that liberty.
Right.
Life would be so much easier if I could just go down and be Billy West for anything, you know, talking toilet or a bottle of bleach. What's wrong with my nasally flawed plain vanilla voice? That's like belabored and drags like a cart with 3 wheels.
That's the funny thing, like, you're saleable because you're recognizable as a star, whereas you gotta be a chameleon, and that's the fucking talent of
And
it.
also, it's I would much rather, as a fan of all this stuff, I would much
Try
rather
and pick people out?
Well, no, it's not even pick people out. I would rather have somebody whose voice is suited to the character,
Oh,
as
absolutely.
opposed to somebody who wants name recognition, which has nothing to do with the product that they're trying to sell.
Yeah,
Right.
You know,
100%,
like let
100%.
Batman be Batman, or
Yeah.
Daredevil, or whichever character, Invader Zim, or whoever it is.
I did
don't
the
need
pilot for
it.
Invader
I know,
Zim.
I know. I love
right.
the
Somebody
artist, too.
was talking about it. I didn't think anyone could possibly even remember or know that.
Oh yeah, well I mean the guy who drew it used to do this comic book called Johnny the Homicidal Maniac,
Oh, yeah?
which I
Yeah.
was a big fan of. So when he went over the animation, I was like, ooh, gotta go check that
Wait, who did the rest of the series? My brain is just totally shut off, though.
out. You mean who actually?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was that kid, Jonan Vasquez.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want me to be Invader Zim after I did the pilot because he said that I was overexposed. How dare this little son of a bitch who hasn't proven a thing say I'm overexposed? And I realized, you know what, he's right. So my friend, intensely, incredibly genius, talented Richie Horowitz did it. And his
right. There we go.
interpretation was gold to me.
Yeah.
I was thrilled to death, you
He's
know.
great. Yeah, I mean, I would much rather hear people who know what they're doing and embody the character.
But
than
I love
celebrity
people
voices.
automatically assume that there's a feud attached to everything.
Yeah.
So what happened when? How did you feel?
right.
When they did this.
It's like what? That one of my best friends got a job.
Right, yeah,
right?
it's fine. Believe me.
Yeah, I don't give a dismal damn who gets what. You know, I don't covet something.
Yeah.
when someone else is doing it, go, I could have got that. Do you know how prevalent that is in
I'm sure.
live
100%,
action world?
100%. Yeah.
That could have been mine. I could have done it.
Of course, anyone could have done it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's like
right.
Spencer
Absolutely
Tracy
right.
said, acting's the easiest thing in the world. Know your lines, don't bump into the furniture.
Yeah.
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 Boom.
And be able to fake sincerity.
Yeah, that
Oh,
helps.
100%.
Because when you can fake that, you can just fake anything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
If
That ain't the quote, and I wish I hadn't tried to steal it.
we towards the end, we like to always have people. If you're going to recommend this album to somebody, let's say, because some of our audience, I'm hoping, are younger people who don't know shit about comedy. That's fine. That's what I like. So let's say they haven't heard of Jonathan Winters or don't know him from anything.
Well, saying they don't know shit about comedy is a little antagonistic.
Yeah,
you
that's
gotta
what I'm trying to
cajole
do.
them a
That's
little
what I'm
bit.
trying
Like,
to do. When I was like 5, I'm hoping there are a lot of 5-year-olds listening to this. I didn't
Me
know anything
too.
about
I can
comedy.
imagine.
me
Or at
too,
least,
especially after some of the subject matter that was
Hey,
cherry
kiddies.
picked by my brain, my evil side.
So, what we like to tell them, like, if you're going to recommend this album to them, having never heard Jonathan Winters, what's a good way to condense why this album's good to listen to?
Not that it would matter to a lot of people, but this is a man that could come out in front of a bunch of people. He had no instrument, he had no loops, he had no beats, he had nothing. And magic emanated from him because of his brain firing synapses in a magical way, and that's what he has, magic. And it's very intimidating when you're up close and personal to someone who has true magic.
Yeah.
It makes you like, you don't know whether to shit or go blind. It was like my friends, you know?
Yeah.
Growing up, they don't have magic. And you did.
Yeah.
And it's your fault, you know, and suddenly that you're not to be spoken to, or, you know, but if you do want to see that, there's lots of places you can see that. Watch a guy like Heifetz, you know, go on YouTube and watch a man with a piece of wood, cat gut, a bow, you know, some strings on it, and create magic with an instrument. No special effects, no nothing, no pre-programming, no touch of a button, anything. This is a human being.
Yeah.
That's, if you want to see that and you can deal with that, you know, that's something that'll, you know, just set your hair on fire. I mean,
You can't go back to the other stuff.
No.
You know, it's like
You
once
can't.
It's like you've looked over the fence, and I'm like, this guy is a comedian. Like, how do I go back to, you know, Dane Cook when I've seen this?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, I mean, and Dane Cook is a lovely man.
I'm sure.
I don't know him.
Nope.
Anyway,
Me neither.
but I mean, like, and I love.
Now, would
Jonathan-
that be like a Danish Epicurean chef or
Yes,
something?
yes,
That's what he meant.
Yes, a Danish
Cook.
chef. Exactly. Yes. Not as funny as the Swedish
No,
chef,
not
but
nearly.
funny.
No,
not
not
ha-ha
even.
funny.
Lot more
Not
tragic.
even.
Right, more of a laughing on the inside.
A lot more
kind of a
tragic,
chef.
that guy, yeah.
No, but that's just it. And like one of the things I love about Jonathan Winters is like you can see it's a mad world and see a little bit of that.
Sure.
But it's a scripted film, and he had to stay very much on the rails.
But
When
you
see-
know they let him
Oh,
run
you know,
wild.
of course.
Of course
I
they
mean,
did,
especially when you see him doing physical bits, like when he's on the bike, and you know, you're just literally, you're like, how is he managing to stay up?
Yeah.
But when you see him on the Tonight Show,
Yes.
or you
Fuck,
see
yeah.
any of those clips where you know
The twig.
when it
Watch
is
the
totally
twig.
different, when he steps out from that couch, or even when he's still sitting on the couch, the look on Johnny's face or whoever it is totally different when Winters is going than any other
Anybody else,
comedian.
yeah.
That's right.
There is almost it's like watching somebody getting ready to jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
It's like something wholly unexpected is going to happen, and we've all got to
Well,
be
it's
ready
like
for
it's
it.
like looking at a burn victim. I can't. I shouldn't. But I must.
But I have to. I mean, I can't not look away. But look at how interesting this is.
So we've just
Yeah.
compared Jonathan Winters with a burn victim jumping out of a plane.
Yes!
So
Not
that's his legacy.
necessarily.
Well-
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Define burn victim.
Yes, define airplane.
I leave it up to both of you.
Good,
That is
thank
not
you.
my responsibility. Oh shit. Do you-
Boy, to be continued.
yeah, right. Do you have anything to promote? Thank you for being here. Number one.
Yes.
My pleasure.
All right. I mean,
Thank
you're,
you.
You're a hero of mine.
Oh, thanks so much.
So this is a fucking honor.
Yeah,
But
we've talked about you as far as Animaniacs is concerned.
Oh,
and
everything,
Futurama
everything,
a
though.
billion times.
But you're
and-
finding out who my
None of
heroes were that put a tilt in my kilt.
That's
you know.
exactly
and
right.
that's what this is about.
Those guys are the knees knockers. You know. Yeah. When I meet them, Jeff Beck. I met Les Paul.
Yeah.
Stan
Wow.
Freberg.
Yeah.
Don
you met Stan
Messick.
Freberg? Fuck.
Yeah, but Stan was one of my heroes.
That's amazing.
And I worked with him.
Did you?
And he told me, you know more about me than I do.
Yeah, of course.
I said,
yeah.
how did you do all of these things, at
Yeah.
that time? He says, well, I was a young guy, I had a lot of energy,
Yeah.
and, those are my heroes
Yeah.
who went just for the pure love, first and foremost, and had to figure out how to market later and be slick and clever that way.
Do you have anything coming up that I
Yeah,
should
I
let
do.
people know about?
I have a podcast that I just put up.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's the Billy West Podcast.
Good name.
Yeah, BillyWestPodcast.com.
All right.
It's also on iTunes, and it's clean as a whistle.
All right.
I want to sell a show,
Of course, yeah.
I'm not gonna cling to my vulgarity. No, it's art, man. No, I mean It's a challenge to just try to be silly and surreal or impressionistic or whatever label you want to throw on it.
Yeah.
But it was just like there was just stuff I felt like doing and saying, and
Yeah.
that didn't necessarily. Not like I was soliciting for laughs or anything
Sure.
like that. It was just a lot of it's just silly.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't afraid to do it. And so, I hope people listen.
Awesome.
They're like, one of them's like 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Some of these little buzzards like go on for 17 minutes.
I know.
What? That's the show. What?
That's it. We're done.
Does that make me a bad man because I went for 17 minutes because there's no parameters on the internet and cyberspace? There's no, 29 minutes. You got to be out by 30.
Yeah, fuck that.
No, really.
That's no good.
No, see,
What about
that's
Twitter?
the beauty of all of this stuff. Twitter?
Yes. Are you just at Billy
at
West?
The Billy West.
At the Billy West.
Yeah.
Who's the motherfucker who stole at Billy West from you?
At Billy West?
Yeah. Did somebody take at Billy West? Somebody must have Billy West instead of the Billy West.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
It's like all those
Somebody
people-
that we're going to steal, they stole awful stupid. What about at Alec Baldwin?
Right?
Some bottom feeder. I know, Billy West seems to be popular. This is the age of the internet claim jumpers and the
yeah,
wildcatters.
Yes. And if anybody wants to get in touch with me, I am at Humphrey Bogart on Twitter.
You should be now.
I am.
What's
at,
your real one? Why don't you promote
Oh,
that?
Jeremy Guskin. I'm the only one. I have no Google gangers. And nobody on the planet, as far as I know, has my name. So
That's amazing.
Jeremy Guskin. I'm that on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, everything. I don't have to do any weird like the real or
Yeah.
01 or nothing.
There are other Jason Klams who are my exact same age.
Really?
Exact same age.
That's because that's not a last name you hear a lot.
No, it's
And
not.
and please don't ask me John Kay questions. I mean, think of it this way: do you really want to bring that mountain down on yourself? There's this one kid; he doesn't get the message, and I keep telling you, he's like, "Why do you hate John Kay?" Or like when you were doing. Did you hate John Kay then, or everything has to do with John Kay? And I said to this kid, I would really appreciate it if you didn't inextricably link me to John Kay. I said I kind of have a little more happening than he does. I think maybe you want to ask me questions with my name in it. That's okay. You know what it is? It's like this. I gotta straighten everybody out. I'm just as bad as those cartoons where it's like, some kid is up all night because someone was wrong on the internet.
Right. Yeah.
Done many.
Talk
jokes
about
like
the
that on
serenity prayer being not available to them,
Yeah, handling the hard.
No, but I can't straighten everybody out. But, And I'm not their Republican dad that wants to teach them a lesson and all that
That's
shit.
what your podcast is for.
The
You should start
podcast
straightening
is
people
just-
out.
No, it's like it doesn't have any victims. It doesn't. It's not like trying to teach people a lesson. It's just it's whimsy.
Yeah. It doesn't call.
Yeah, it's whimsy.
You don't call your listeners idiots or whatever I called them earlier, right? Which is not what I meant.
No, but
by
I
the way,
almost
folks.
called the show "Hey Stupid." I seriously thought I even had a theme song.
good.
Alice Cooper had a song called "Hey
Oh, yeah.
Stupid." Hey, 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 stupid. Nice, you can have it if you want it.
I'll take that. I might make that my ringtone
I think
once
you
I
should.
pull it off of this.
Hey, stupid.
I'd like to hear that every time my phone goes.
That would be a great ringtone.
I know.
All right. Well,
Especially Alice Cooper.
everybody needs to follow both these guys on Twitter. You can follow me if you want to. You can find me. I'm not going to tell you what my name is.
I'll find you.
You'll find me. Listen to Billy West's podcast. For
Oh, come on,
fuck's sake.
say it. Say
it's
it because I
impossible.
don't want to hear any whining about it. I
All
mean,
right.
I feel like an equal here.
First initial, last name, J. Klamm. J-K-L-A-M-M. I was going to say as it's spelled, but, as it sounds. But no,
Right,
J.
'cause-
Klamm. I'm J. Klamm everywhere, which is stupid. I should have gone by something interesting that nobody can figure that out.
Right, like Dracula Bulldozer.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
At Dracula Bulldozer is where you will find me soon enough.
I love you because you put yourself last. You just remind me of me. No. Everybody else comes first.
You do your thing.
Yeah, women. It's like guys are idiots. They don't learn till like they're really old and to find out what a girl really wants. So it's all about saying yes.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I'm second.
Right,
Your
right.
pleasure comes first.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, your multiple O's and all that other stuff, come first.
Anything as
Yeah.
long as I get to.
Multiples.
I think I will quickly promote, even though this is a ways down the way, we have a Parkinson's benefit coming up here in Burbank, October 21st, 2015, called the Million McFly March. Come dressed up as Marty McFly. I will be there, and it's to raise money for Parkinson's. Will you be there, Jeremy?
I will be
I'm
dressed
committing you.
as Doc Brown.
Well, of course, because you've played
or
Doc
as
before.
3D.
It's very noble.
Jeremy has played my Doc, and I have played Marty on stage a number of times.
Yeah.
And that's one of
I
the
wish
reasons
I
I
had
want to do
time
this.
to do plays and all that cool stuff.
Oh, you can come on over. We won't pay anything, but you can come to our show every month if you
That's
like.
not why you would do anything.
Oh, I
at
know.
all.
Believe me, it's so much fun. It's so much.
You
fun.
would have got a bill for today.
Yeah, right, I know.
What was it,
100%.
time
Couple
and a
hours.
half?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's fun.
You know
Oh,
the
yeah, you're right.
Teamster.
Are we in golden time for podcasts
Yeah,
right now?
Golden
Shit.
Podcast.
Yeah, this
Son
is,
of a bitch.
It's not safe harbor exactly.
Jen, hawk one of the cars, please.
You know the Teamster telling a bedtime story to his kid? Once upon a time and a half.
Brilliant.
On that note, thank you for being here again.
Oh,
it's
my
an
pleasure.
honor.
Thank you so much.
Thank
There's no
you.
camera here, but I'm shaking the
You're
hand of the
shaking
man.
hands.
And I
And
get
the
one.
other man, not in any,
Thank you,
not in
Jeremy.
any particular importance.
I knew you would be. You couldn't resist coming over
No
if I said Billy West.
which
Name.
I'm
way,
glad you
shape, or
did.
form.
Yeah.
And I met 2 nice kitty cats that were floating around.
That's right.
And I
Lulu
spoke
Daisy.
cat.
Yes, you did. That was amazing.
I tell you,
wish
he's
I'd have gotten
going,
that.
yeah, okay,
I wish
good.
I'd have recorded that shit. It was fantastic.
But I
and-
mean, I think they just got tired of hearing me talk, but they were just moving in. You know what? They can smell cat on me.
Oh, sure. Well, also, when you were making those insane loud screeching noises, they ran away several times.
Oh,
It was funny.
really?
No, and then they came back.
Did
They don't
I
give
do
a shit.
that?
It was funny. Are you kidding?
I'm
It was
like
necessary.
Ozzy Osbourne. Somebody asked him a question like, hey, that was like, what were you thinking, when you bit that bird's head off and everything, and at that news conference or whatever, and he said, what? You bit the bird's head? He's like, I did that.
Oh, I don't remember doing
He said,
that.
who made me do that?
Oh, shit.
Yes, I know. Oh, poor Ozzy.
Well, we always end the podcast by saying "have a good thing," but I thought about what if I said "have a good brain thing," and maybe you could follow up the line. I'm not going to make you perform.
Wait. Okay.
I'm not going to make you perform.
this is
You can tell me to
interactive?
shut the fuck up.
No, I would never do that.
Oh, okay.
But it's my option and my decision whether
Absolutely
I
right.
decide
If I
to let
say-
you co-opt
Exactly right.
my spontaneity and my
Exactly. 100%.
alacrity.
100%. So if I said "have a good brain thing," and you said I already did, then I would just it would make me wet.
Oh, you mean is that like a fry thing?
It is a fry.
Say it again. then.
All right.
I didn't even pick up on that cue, and I'm usually pretty good.
Fry's got that brain thing. I
Oh,
already
that's-
did.
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a good brain thing.
Define thing.
Even better. Comedy on Vinyl is a production of Stolen Dress Entertainment. It is produced by Mike Warden and is hosted and edited by Jason Klamm. Our theme song was composed and performed by Richard Levinson. Please visit stolendress.com to listen to our other podcasts, read our blogs, read our tweets, watch our videos, and read our books. Please subscribe on iTunes, and if you like us, give us a 5-star rating and a nice review. You can find us on facebook.com/comedyonvinyl, Twitter @comedyonvinyl, and find everything else at comedyonvinyl.com.